Need a pawn in the drum roll.
Never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th inches.
Need a pawn in the drum roll.
I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th inches.
Need a pawn in the drum roll.
I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th inches.
Need a pawn in the drum roll.
I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th inches.
Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. And I'm wishing everybody a Happy New Year. Hold on, the volume sounds a little off. There we go. As I was saying, I hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas and a great New Year to come. Hopefully, 2020 is way better than, 2021 is way better than 2020. But it's Tuesday, so you know what that means. It's The Hangover, episode 12. I'm your host, Poke, aka A Low Money, aka The Got Damn Truth. And you over here on 863 Seminole TV. Let's get it. And we got the cheesy fingers bowl in the back with the candy canes and the Cowboys. And it's not looking too good for them candy canes right now. Just saying. A little bit of shameless plug here before I get started. I want everybody, if you have an iPhone, I want you to go to the App Store and I want you to download the Clubhouse app. It's a social networking site. And I'm trying to start so it's basically like you get on there, you guys talk. No, there's no text messages. Everything's voice. Get on here and talk or whatever. Get on there, man. I'm trying to start an FSU community page. I want to get that started. So if you're interested in that, let's get that thing started. With that said, let's get to the roll call. We'll get to these news. We'll get to the rumors. And we'll also have this game on in the background here, as it looks like it may end up getting ugly for these Canes. John Shields in the building. Island Boy, No Blooded, CJ, Jose Garcia, D. Thompson, Ardavius Hall, Mr. Wolf, Big Chugs, and Joseph Hardaway. I'm sure more people will show up here shortly. And Miami is facing fourth down right here. So we're going to wait just for a little bit. 18 people in the chat. Hit that like button on your way in. Miami's going for it on fourth down. We're going to get into all that stuff about Kendo. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, so we're going to get into it. Really got a packed show today. There's a lot of good information, a lot of rumors that I don't know. Don't know if there's any validity to them. D'Eriq King rolling out. No flag on the play. I'm pretty sure Candy Cane fans are crying about that one because he didn't look back for the ball. However, that wasn't the best thrown ball either by D'Eriq King. He underthrew that ball. If he puts that ball out in front, Brevin Jordan has that. So that's a bad throw. He never did look back and locate the ball though. But the ball hit the guy right in the back of the head. Anyway, here we go. News and notes. Let's get it started. We're going to start off with the negatives, and then we'll end on a positive note as far as the news goes. Joshua Kendo. Again, some of this stuff isn't really negative. Some of it we kind of just saw coming. However, the Joshua Kendo thing did catch me by surprise a little bit. I thought Kendo would stick it out for another year. I thought he needed that. Thought he needed that extra year for some better tape, for a better draft position. I'm not too sure. That wasn't a great throw. I'm not too sure Kendo gets drafted. He could have used the extra year to really put more. He doesn't have any kind of real film out there. He doesn't really have a lot of production to go off of. I'm not sure he gets drafted this year. Thought Kendo could have used another year. However, it's his decision. Joshua Kendo has decided to declare for the NFL draft. Good luck to him. He's a big prospect, big body. NFL body, just don't know if he has the NFL level of production. Maybe he can go to the combine, put up some good numbers, and be a late round draft pick there. Warren Thompson has entered the transfer portal. Nobody, I think, is shocked or upset about this one. A guy in Warren Thompson who has more career drops than he does career catches. Probably, I know for a fact he's got more drops than career touchdowns. He probably has more drops than career catches. A guy who got into it in a negative way with every coach that he's had. There's really not much positive to say, unfortunately, about Warren Thompson, except for the potential that he possessed at the wide receiver position. I mean, we can talk about coaching and all that all we want. It wasn't the coach that had Warren Thompson out there dropping footballs. That was Warren Thompson. So he went into the transfer portal. Good luck to him in the future. And we'll see maybe if he goes someplace, gets a fresh start, and can live up to the potential that he has, that people thought he could be coming out of Armwood High School. Those guys never really tend to pan out, by the way, if you're talking about those Armwood guys. Chemo Macaniole. Chemo Macaniole has decommitted. Now, if you watch my early signing day video live stream where I talked about Chemo and said I didn't expect him in this class. So for me, that's no big deal. I didn't expect him in the class. Once everybody else signed and he did it, that told me everything I needed to know about Chemo. LSU is apparently the team. It's apparently his dream school. He's got. I still don't think FSU has given. Excuse me. I still don't think LSU has given him a committable offer yet. But he has decommitted, and with that decommitment, FSU has dropped out of the top 25 in the recruiting rankings down to 20. And this Miami Hurricanes defense is trash. It's 21-0, Cane fans. Don't come for me. You can, John Shields, you don't need to worry about us anymore. You guys are getting embarrassed on national TV again. Just stop it. Anyway, let me continue my news and notes because I can start going off on a big tangent on these Hurricane fans. You guys really, anyway, we'll get into that. FSU drops out of the top 25 in recruiting. Again, no reason to panic. Seminoles, no reason to panic. I didn't expect Chemo win this class. I'm almost positive they'll replace him, if not with a high school player, definitely a transfer guy. He actually frees up a scholarship, even though he wasn't taking one up because he didn't sign, but you get what I'm trying to say. Frees up a spot in this recruiting cycle. Talented kid that I thought had a potential decent upside, but I knew when he didn't sign, he wouldn't be a FSU commit. So no surprise for me there. No surprise for me there. Then you got Emil Ime out of Fort Lauderdale. Inside linebacker, 5'9", 202 pounds, 3-star. Not very highly ranked, but FSU was getting this kid as a walk-on. He will be signing to Florida State as a walk-on per his announcement. A 3-star who they're convincing to get on a walk-on. Could have took a scholarship to maybe a lower school. He's undersized, but for what it's worth, nothing special here. It's worth talking about. You get a 3-star walk-on. You get a guy who maybe raises the floor of that room. Maybe he's not done growing, but some potential there, I guess. Nothing to really be too excited about. The big one to be excited about, which I know everybody sort of finally got a little bit of a spark there on that kick return, Miami fans. But the big news I know everybody wants my opinion on here. Jermaine Johnson, outside linebacker / defensive end, 6'5", 250 pounds, originally from Minnesota, was the number 1 JUCO player in 2019, has transferred from the University of Georgia, and he's no-blooded, guys. He is 100% no-blooded, will be a Seminole. That is a big-time pickup. No way around it. To me, it's bigger if Kendo would have chose to stay. With the Kendo departure and Janarius Robinson departuring, we still need to, I think, address that depth at the defensive end position and maybe take another transfer. Whereas initially I thought you didn't have to. Now with your 2 top defensive ends going to the draft, regardless of their production level or not, it still added a decent rotation and still added the depth with those guys out. While Jermaine Johnson is a great get, you still got to continue to address the position. You did recruit the position fairly well. This cycle, I don't know how many of those guys are day 1 guys, but Jermaine Johnson, man, he's more himself is more productive this past year, he was more productive in limited playing time because he was not a starter at Georgia. He was more productive than the entire defensive line that Florida State fielded this year. So no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Jermaine Johnson's big time, and it's good to see him. Good to see Jermaine commit to Florida State. Some more news. Andrew Parchment, wide receiver, 6'3", 185, another Fort Lauderdale kid. He will transfer from Kansas. Now, he has not officially announced anything, but the consensus belief is FSU is the team to look for. And looks like Miami's finally starting to come to life here a little bit. But Parchment is looking to transfer and is pretty much... Oh, my camera fell. Damn fly. Man down. All right. Let's make sure. Okay, we good. There we go. We good. All right. Like I was saying before, the fly made me blow my whole setup. Andrew Parchment, 6'3", 185 out of Fort Lauderdale. He's a Kansas transfer. It is rumored. Basically, he's been crystal ball to Florida State. The belief is that he will be the veteran wide receiver that FSU is going to land here. A little bit about him. You got 2017, he played for NIU, didn't do much. Then he went the JUCO route in 2018. In 2019, with his really lone year of production at Kansas, 65 catches, 829 yards, 12.8 yards per catch, 7 TDs, and a long of 75. He did play in 7 games this year, but he only amassed 24 catches, 197 yards, 8.2 yards a carry, and 2 touchdowns. I think he's a good get if you can get him. I like his length. I've watched a little bit of his tape. He's got some speed on him. Really hasn't played a lot of football, man. Really 1 year. And, with the COVID year this year, only playing in 7 games. He comes over with Mackenzie Milton. I think he has something, and he can similar build, similar length to Tamarion Terry. Could fill that void potentially. Andrew Parchment, Kansas transfer, is expected to be a Seminole, but has not yet made that commitment yet. Another quick piece of news. FSU does offer 2022 QB Sam Horn. That's the teammate of Travis Hunter. That is something to look forward to. FSU has actually offered a ton of 2022 quarterbacks. They do not plan on it. You can tell the game plan here. They do not tend on missing on a quarterback in next recruiting cycle. So shout out to the staff for, I think they have given 6 or 7 quarterbacks for next year scholarships. So, and some of them are really good. Actually, most of them are really top flight guys. So that's something to continue to look forward to. Let's see what y'all are talking about in the chat. CJ says this coaching staff is trash. Miami is a great team. I know the feeling that Garcia went to Miami. Polk, I've been trying to tell my delusional hurricane family, Miami is getting blown out. You were right about King overthrowing and underthrowing. Right. People want to talk about that should have been a pass interference. If King puts that ball where it should have been, Brevin Jordan probably walks into the end zone. There's that. No Blood says, ouch. Dennis is like, what is going on, bro? What up, Mr. H.A. Double? Happy holidays to you too, my dog. Hope Miami gets blown out. Montre says, what up? No Squad says 112. Derek Neal says, what up? Weak Miami coaching and players. 30 people in the chat. Hit the like button. We are watching Miami versus Oklahoma State in the background. And I'll be honest with you guys. To me, if De'Aaron King ain't really running the ball effectively, I'm watching this Oklahoma State team really bottle him up and contain him on the ground. Maybe it's just me, but If he's not running effectively, his throwing don't seem to really be getting it done. 21-0 if you don't know. The Canes are in the red zone, aren't threatening to score. Good throw and catch right there. Oklahoma State really doesn't have an answer for Brevin Jordan. So that might be the focus going forward. Brevin Jordan kind of ate on this drive. So good solid throw and catch right there. BB low. Can't blame Baker for bad angles and missed tackles. Can't blame Baker for number 8 continuously getting ran over. Man, that damn fly is back. How many times do we got to see number 8 get ran over? I'm talking about number 8 for Miami. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Miami fans. Maiden Date is in the building. Lashley is just like his father, Gus Malzahn. They look almost identical as far as the offense goes. We'll see. I predicted this to be a shootout, so we'll see if the Miami defense can get a hold of something. The check engine light on. In my opinion, King is destroying. King doesn't have a draft stock. If we're just being frankly honest, Brandon B, let's not pretend like King has a draft stock. As a quarterback, I don't care what anybody tells you, he doesn't. He just doesn't. As a potential slot receiver, I don't even think he has one as a running back, but as a potential slot receiver in the league, he might. As a quarterback, he doesn't have a draft stock. He will not be drafted as a quarterback. And if you don't believe me, that's why the man came back this year. Because if he was going to the NFL, he would have left already. He's coming back because he has no grade as a quarterback at the next level. It just is what it is. I'm sorry. Not trying to be hateful, not trying to, whatever. It's just kind of a facts right there. Defense standing, waiting on them. What's up? We're going to talk about the rumors because nothing's up with it at all. What's going on, Chad? Merry Christmas to you and happy holidays and happy New Year. Tomorrow we need wide receivers, and Lashley and Enos are like that Spider-Man meme. That's what CJ's been saying this whole time. CJ said there's no big difference between Lashley and Enos. So we'll see. We'll see. And Montre says that's real. Let's go to these rumors, man. We're going to start off with the slight rumors, and then I'm going to hit the big ones that everybody wants to talk about. Tykeist Crawford. Now this kid is an interesting prospect right here. He's a former 4-star. He was a nationally ranked top 200 kid out of Texas, number 35 player in Texas, 19 player offensive tackle. Like 6', he actually, at the time he was recruited, was only 6'5". He's up to like 6'7" now, 310 plus pounds. He committed to Charlotte, but he committed there late. He has entered the portal. Now, if you don't know, Atkins was the former offensive line coach at Charlotte. Now, I don't know if there is a link between the two. He committed to Charlotte after Atkins already took the Florida State job, from my knowledge. So I don't know if there's a connection between those two individuals. However, it's something to look forward to. Easily, I mean, the kid was only a 4-star a year ago, so you're going to get a lot of eligibility out of him. This is the one to watch. I have to believe FSU goes all in on trying to get this one. Former 4-star, big kid, talented player. I mean, you get him. That's a day one. He's going to be a day one starter, and not only a day one starter, he's not a 1-year rental. He's going to be here for the next 2-3 years. And yeah, that's a name to look forward to. I would love to see FSU land this one. Another guy to keep an eye on. His last name's a little hard to pronounce, but he's the Temple strong side DN, 6'4", 235. He's a solid player, not the greatest, not as good as Jermaine Johnson, who we already picked up. But he would add the depth with Kando leaving and J-Rob leaving. He adds that instant depth that'll give these younger guys enough time to develop and get some playing time. I'm talking about Arnold Ibikiti. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to butcher his name, but he's a Temple player. He's in the portal. FSU is in the mix, from my knowledge. They have reached out, contacted. He is still making his decision, so we'll wait to see what happens there. We will wait to see what happens there. Um, that Miami defense is really bad. I thought our defense was bad, and it is, but Miami's don't look too much better. Antonio Shelton, former Penn State defensive tackle, is in the portal and has also been in contact with Florida State. I don't think he's necessarily. Here's the thing with this one. I would only take Shelton if we missed on Malone. In my opinion, Tywone Malone should be the priority. I think we're kind of deep at defensive tackle going into next year in a lot of ways. A veteran leadership could help. But if it's up to me, you take Tywone Malone because he's going to be a 3-4 year contributor. Shelton's going to be a 1-year rental. If you miss out on Malone, you could see FSU enter the mix for Antonio Shelton. I guess best case scenario, maybe you still take both. I don't know if you want to eat up a scholarship taking 2 defensive tackles per se, because you did take Chambry Jackson, who will play D tackle. Joshua Farmer will play defensive tackle. So adding another defensive tackle isn't really a priority unless, talking Tywone Malone. Maybe this one, if you miss out on Tywone Malone and you want to add another depth guy who can give you some contribution immediately while you still allow Chambry Jackson, some of these other guys to develop. Before I get into the big rumors, before I get into these big rumors, let's hit the chat up, see what you boys are talking about. Boys and gals, if there's any gals in here, see what you guys are talking about. 34 people in here. Hit the like button if you haven't already. As we watch Miami get gashed on defense, like always, and Oklahoma State's up 21-7. Chad says, who was the Kane fan that said he'd take King over Trevor Lawrence? We need Crawford. Atkins should have a connection with them. Yeah, I hope we can get that one. He said a troll. He's answering chat. He's saying a troll. What up, Paul? What up, Seminole Nation? What up, Herb Gotti? No, he was in Polk's video chat with him and YK or whoever. Mine King. Man, I don't know who said that, but brother, that's an idiot. Hey, Polk, they offered QB from Lake Mineola in Lake County. They went to state this year. My nephew will be there. Brandon Gibson, running back. Okay. And Panama Jack says 4-star Michigan State. Devontae Dons, offensive tackle, needed to go after Devontae Dobbs. Need to go after him. We'll see if we can get. I have no doubt that they're going to add a tackle. I like to look at where some of these kids are from. I don't know where this Michigan State kid is from, but I know Atkins has to have some type of connection to Charlotte. And Atkins needs to get on the Crawford kid immediately. I don't think he stepped out of bounds, guys. I think it's 28-7, but we'll see. They shoved him, but it didn't look like he went out of bounds to me. Miami's defense is atrocious, guys. Look at that. Look at this. Oh, he did step out. 42 people in here as we watch Miami just continuously get look at this guy. This guy's already got 94 yards and 2 touchdowns. Talking about Brennan Presley. Oh my God. What is going on? Miami fans, where are you guys at? What am I watching, guys? I expected a shootout, but I didn't expect Miami to get blown out by Oklahoma State of all teams. Michael Henson says, I'm in Jacksonville. We waiting on Trevor Lawrence. He probably will be a Jaguar. And y'all will find a way to ruin him. I'm just saying, y'all will find a way to ruin him. What up? Green Bay really does suck. What's going on? Miami had the nerve to say that we're disrespected. Exactly. That was my big thing too. Miami said they were disrespected in the bowl games and the rankings. They deserve this. They deserve that. And every time they played a team with a heartbeat, they're coming out here and got embarrassed. But let's not be too quick. This game isn't over. A lot more football left to be played here. I mean, Miami can make a stand right here and hold them to a field goal. That'd be a plus. It's a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 5, something like that. We're going to get to to some big rumor talk here in a minute. But I'm interested in this drive. See how this drive pays out. 3rd and 6. Look at this. Spencer Sanders is looking like Trevor Lawrence tonight. 19 to 22, 205, and 2 TDs. Miami's making this guy look all world. That was a bad call. Don't like that call. They got conservative right there. Looks like they'll go for the field goal. Yeah, I didn't like that call. You got a chance to really put your foot on their necks. You kind of that's a boost for Miami to say, okay, we finally can get a stop. And Miami seemed to have found maybe some type of spark on offense. So we'll see how much they target Brevin Jordan coming up on this next drive. Let's see if he misses this field goal. And I think we got a false start. Right. Miami's about to get this boy Sanders drafted, bro. He's out here looking tremendous. Out here looking like Trevor Lawrence. After this field goal, we're going to get into our continued conversation and some of the big-time rumors that are hitting this FSU airways right now, which I don't necessarily buy in. He's a freshman kicking, and he missed it. He missed it. So Miami caught a break there. Let's see if they can capitalize on it. We did talk about Jermaine Johnson, so if you want to, we can rehash that. Of course, that's a huge get. 2019 was the number 1 JUCO guy in the country, former Georgia player. Him alone, he's been more productive than the entire defensive line at Florida State this past year. So you're getting a big-time kid, a kid that I don't think anybody thought FSU really was had a chance at. So the fact that you're able to get him is big. It surprised the hell out of me. It was big time. It's a huge position to need, but both of your starting defensive ends have declared for the draft. And really behind those guys, I don't know what we have. We hope that McClendon can continue to improve. Will we ever get anything out of Quayshawn Fuller? How much improvement will Josh Griffiths see this upcoming year? We got Patrick Payton, but is he ready? Is he going to be ready to play year 1? Or, me personally, guys like Patrick Payton, guys like George Wilson, I would use them situationally. Those are big-time pass rushers, long, athletic, and lean. I would use those guys in obvious pass rushing situations. So don't let the freshmen don't have to think, right? Just pin their ears back and get to that quarterback, and I would use them like that. He gives you a chance to really let those guys develop and not have to rush them out there on the field. So Jermaine Johnson was a big get. No doubt about that. And I think they should continue. They should look to add one more in the portal if possible. If they can, add one more defensive end, add to that depth. With that, speaking of Jermaine Johnson, it's by rumor that Jermaine Johnson put out that James Cook. Yeah, you're hearing this right. James, I forgot about Curtis Fan. Curtis Fan's another guy that could definitely, hopefully, see a way to contribute some way. Curtis Fan is a guy. But James Cook, we're going to get into the James Cook talk because apparently Jermaine Johnson opened the doors. Again, rumors, no way to verify any of this. But Sunday morning, okay, I worked all night Saturday, which is why I didn't do anything on Sunday. I worked all night Saturday, right? Sunday morning comes around. Lamont Green, former FSU player Lamont Green, tweets out. I don't remember exactly what the tweet was, but it was something to the effect of, give me baby Cook or something to that nature. And FSU Twitter goes on fire. Miami's found a little spark offensively, so maybe they can finally show something here. Anyway, they tweeted out that James Cook has interest in Florida State. That he may transfer out of Georgia. This has also come within a week of talking about Trey Sanders, also being a guy who's thinking about transferring out of Alabama. First and foremost, I want to address it in this fashion. I said the same thing about Trey Sanders, so we're going to keep that same energy with James Cook. Until they hit the portal, guys, there is nothing to talk about. Until they hit the portal, there is nothing to talk about. Until they hit the portal, this is all rumors, speculation, with nothing legit behind it. Michael Langston put out that they're in contact with Trey Sanders. First of all, that's a huge NCAA violation for guys who could still be officially on football teams to have contacts with other football teams. I'm going to tell you why I think I'm going to tell you later on why I think these rumors are coming out. But until these guys hit the portal, none of this means anything. None of this means anything. At least with the Andrew Parchment and some of these other guys, the DN out of Temple, the D tackle out of Penn State. These are kids who are in the portal that we can legit talk about and say this kid could potentially come to Florida State. We're talking about James Cook. We're talking about Trey Sanders. Two guys, for one, FSU doesn't necessarily need a running back. And two, they're not in the portal yet. So I really think we got to kind of calm down here on this James Cook and Trey Sanders stuff. But it's heating up. And again, until their names enter the portal, I don't see a reason. Oh my God, what kind of throw was that, De'Aaron King? Number 3 was wide open. It must be defensive holding or something. Yeah, probably defensive holding.
Celebrating. Pass interference. Defense number 31.
So again, man, talking about this stuff.
Basically just kind of over.
Okay. You see that every play. That's a makeup call for that, I guess, missed pass interference that they want to call. That was come on. That was they gave Miami a break right there. That wasn't pass interference. De'Aaron King makes a better throw. Anyway, those are the James Cook, Trey Sanders rumors. Let's see what you guys talk about in the comments. Brandon says, I need to see Gainer as a rusher 100% more than last season. You know what? From what I see, this is me personally. From what I see, the roster moves they're making, I don't think they're going to use. I still don't think they're going to use Gainer as a pass rusher. And now I'm hearing a lot about they may be using him as a weak side linebacker and maybe standing him up next to Steven Dix because FSU's linebackers are so piss poor in coverage. Because FSU's linebackers have been so bad in coverage. But we'll see. Why did Webb transfer? Webb transferred for a couple reasons. To my knowledge, one, he homesick. He does have kids and wanted to be back close to them. And I also heard a lot that he wasn't happy with the amount of touches he got. And that he felt like he was the more talented back than a guy like a Jay-Sean Corbin. Felt like he should have got more touches. And for that reason, he decided to transfer out.
Nice job here. You run Harley, basically a little bit of a stack release, and that traffic there is what gets Harley so wide open. Just running to the flat. Good time.
North Florida in the house. Finally some heart. What's up? You see a couple of our kids tweeting at. They should be. I saw Amari Gainer. He's been tweeting at a few guys. He tweeted at the Penn State D tackle. Or no, Jay-Sean Corbin was tweeting at the Penn State D tackle, I think. Amari Harvey's been tweeting at a few guys. Not Amari Harvey, Amari Gainer, sorry. He's been tweeting at a few guys. So we'll see what they do, man. We'll see how they close and if they close strong. But for me, as we see if the Miami can actually. I mean, how this game started, it would be great if Miami was able to hold this score here, get another stop, and get another stop, and it'd be good to see if they can pull this off.
You really do. Britt Mallard be a very good player, be a starter. Most places, and they kind of feel like when their best 11 are on the field offensively.
Philly is the future. I think so. Corbin tweeted at him and said, "I'd love to run behind you."
Fortunate to have that kind of depth there.
The drive here and it continues first and goal for the Hurricanes. To keep it. Look at the end zone. Touchdown, Miami.
Okay, Miami's making a short comeback here. We'll see. Oh, there's a flag. We've got a flag.
A lot of life here. If it holds up, it's a 7-yard touchdown run for De'Aaron King.
See what we got. Oh, that run's coming back. Now, why do I think all these running back rumors are surfacing? This is going to be my conspiracy theory here. I have no information on this, but I'm looking at the landscape of things. Contravion Hargroves, that recruitment has gone eerily silent. Contravion Hargrove has gone eerily silent. I'm not sure if FSU's. I don't know if he's considering FSU still, and I don't even know if FSU's gonna take him. I think they should. I would not be surprised if Hargrove does not end up in this class at this point, and I think that's why all the transfer rumors over these running backs have continued to emerge. I do not think FSU is going to end up with Contravion Hargrove. That is my belief of why all of a sudden James Cook rumors pop up and Trey Sanders rumors pop up and I can't find anything on the kid. The kid's recruitment has gone really silent, and I don't know if there's anything positive leaning towards Florida State at this point. I couldn't tell you who the favorite was. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on there. What is the score still? Did Miami end up scoring or what happened?
Just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuff. Their ingredients.
Tyler says Hunter got his 5th star. He plays tomorrow. FSU has recently offered his quarterback. So there's a chance that we can have 2 guys from that team as Florida State Seminoles next year.
I can just do it right from home. My relationship with my hair is fantastic. We're good friends now. It makes me feel.
So yeah, Trey Sanders again. Trey Sanders, James Cook. Man, I'm not really big on either guy. When I say, and the reason I say that, not that I don't think they're talented, I just don't, until their names enter the transfer portal, bro, I don't really see a reason to talk about them. If you ask me who I would choose between the two, I take Cook not because he's Dalvin's brother. He's not his brother, period. And not a lot of guys, there's not a lot of running backs in the world that are close to what Dalvin Cook is. With that said, he's been way more productive. Trey Sanders has not played college football except for like 20 some odd snaps in his 3 years in Alabama. He just hasn't played. He had an accident, injuries, got it, but he hasn't played. Trey Sanders hasn't played football. James Cook has been productive for most of his 3 years at Georgia. They use him in a lot of different ways, receiving, running. Quite frankly, James Cook would fit what Mike Norvell would want to do more seamlessly if he was to come to Florida State. There's nothing going on with James Cook until he enters the transfer portal, but it's been rumored that FSU and Florida State, FSU and James Cook have been in contact with each other, but nothing has been official. No one can confirm it,
Here's Harley. And spun out of bounds by Trace.
and no one can confirm it. I hope my nose could get 7 to 8 wins this coming season. Well, I want to touch on that early preview of what I think FSU could be next year. We're gonna talk about that tonight. 247 was saying FSU has backed off on Hargrove. Doesn't make much sense to me personally. That makes sense to me. Again, from a recruiting standpoint, it makes sense to me if they believe they have better targets out there, because the running back room isn't a position of need. Whether you take a high school running back or a transfer running back, it's really a luxury at this point, even with the loss of the Damian Webb. Corbin Toafili, you still got Wren, you still got Ja'Kai Douglas, and then Trayshawn Ward walk-on has kind of played his way into that rotation. So, that's just me. But it makes sense in the sense of why I think that recruitment's gone cold, and why all of a sudden you're getting these rumors of a Trey Sanders and a James Cook. So that's what you're hearing there. That's what you're hearing there. Yeah, Garrett King looks like he's down.
You wonder if even before he took the hit, Tim, when he went to plant,
Is he hurt or? That sucks. Never like to see that, man. You never like to see that, regardless of who a kid plays for. Hopefully he walks off under his own power. Was the decommitment of Kimo McAloney a big loss? You tell me, Jen. I told you guys after the early signing period he wasn't going to be a part of this class. So to me, it's not a big loss. I didn't expect him a part of it. When everybody else signed and he didn't. When he called LSU his dream school, I knew what was up then. Well, not a big loss to me. Is at a position of need or it's at a position where you want to have as many bodies as possible as far as O-line goes. But an offensive guard is never a big loss. Did the kid have potential? Yeah, he had potential. I think he could have probably been a pretty good player. And becomes a very good player. But a low-ranked offensive guard to me isn't a big loss. And I never expected him to be part of the class anyway. So to me, no. Talking about Cook and Sanders is like talking about the 2024 recruit. I agree, man. I agree. And until the names hit the portal, I don't know why these rumors keep persisting. I don't know why these guys keep doing it to themselves and throwing out Trey Sanders and James Cook. I'm waiting to see who the next guy, who's the next running back that's gonna somehow be linked to Florida State and not be in the portal. So yeah. Ain't Trey Sanders the fool that said he was gonna win the Heisman as a freshman on signing day? I don't know if he said that or not. But Trey has suffered a lot of injuries, so he hasn't had to play. He hasn't gotten a chance to play. King is hurt. One way or another, these QBs will learn how to slide. That don't look good at all. CJ say it's Perry time. It would be interesting if Perry came back and won this game, wouldn't it, CJ? Wouldn't it? I hope the young man has a speedy recovery. Pope, I told y'all that taking hits. The injury looks like he will be out for some next season. Was it that bad? I was talking to you guys, so I didn't actually see the actual injury. So that definitely does suck, man. I can't lie, you were right. If Cook comes, though, if Cook did come, that would be nice. He would add a lot to the room, and he's versatile enough. He'd be an upgrade over Webb. And he'd be the best running back on the roster if he did come. Again, until he enters the portal, don't know what the hell we're even talking about. Yeah, it looks bad. Knee looked out of place. It can't be that bad, though, if they didn't come get the cart and wheel them off.
If it's on that cut right there to his right leg, or when there's contact with the knee from Trey Sterling, either way, You just hate to see it. Does have a history of a knee injury. Of course, meniscus in 2018.
Here's Perry. Here's Nkosi.
Now it's going to be Nkosi Perry. in a quarterback.
I mean, good news for Miami fans as far as next year goes.
Played very little this season.
Again, the guy walked off on his own. He walked off on his own. Not, I mean, you know, they didn't cart him out. That should be a smidget of good news for D'Eriq King going into next year. You feel me? Rose said that boy T2Y got to be sick right now. I honestly don't care. Comes and doesn't. I have a good feeling about these new guys. They play with passion and heart. Cook would start. I'm on the phone with him right now. Let's see if Perry can get him a touchdown.
Third down and goal. Looking for the short pass again, and that one's going to be broken up and incomplete. Rodriguez broke it up, intended for the running back Harris.
Well, good news, Miami fans. You guys got an all-pro, all-American kicker. At least we'll know he'll make this field goal. So that's a plus. Your first consensus All-American in 16 years is your kicker. So yeah, it doesn't look too good. He's limping pretty bad. Can't put any weight on it. Why the cart didn't come pick him up? Maybe they don't have one in the stadium, which doesn't make a lick of sense to me. He shouldn't have to walk under. He shouldn't have to walk out like that. He shouldn't have to walk out like that. And now Cam Harris is down. To me, it looks like Harris just got the wind knocked out of him. It doesn't look like. I think he'll be fine. The way he's moving tells me he's just trying to catch his breath. The way he's swinging the bottom half of his body, kind of, you had the wind knocked out of you. You know what I'm talking about.
One of the reasons they talk about how much they admire him on both sides of the football. The defensive side loves him just as much as the offensive guys do.
Well, you saw, Bubba Bolden was one of the first guys, the good safety for Miami.
He didn't want the cart. He should have took the cart. I mean, it's not about what the player wants at this point. He can't walk. Look at the way he's walking. They should have gave him the cart. I don't care if he didn't want the cart or not. If you're coming back next year to be the guy, you probably you take the cart. Take the cart, man. If that Cook rumor is true, that would make my week even better. My Jags getting the number 1 pick. I don't know why people, you Jaguar fans, look. And Cam does look like he did hurt his shoulder, so I was definitely wrong on the wind knocked out thing. But you can guarantee there's 3 points from that All-American big-time kicker. There you go, the All-American, 21-10. Let's go Cowboys. And as far as you Jag fans go, look, congratulations. You get the number 1 pick. You're going to get Trevor Lawrence. Y'all will find a way to ruin it. I'm sorry. Y'all will find a way to ruin Trevor Lawrence. I just have a feeling. How tall is King? Is like 5'2". He said he wants to walk out. I get it. I understand he wants to walk out on his own. But at what point as the coaching staff, you are put in position to do the best for the players, not what the players want. I get it. But he's your starting quarterback most likely next year, right or wrong. He might want to walk out on his own, but if it's not in his best interest, I don't care. I mean, I get it. But get him the cart, get his knee healthy, because guess what? Miami has Alabama week 1 next year, period, point blank. Miami is down 21-10 in this game. If that whole score holds up, that's not a good look for Manny Diaz. Manny Diaz should be trying to win that game. First game, you're not going to win, but you got to put yourself in the best position. And having D'Eriq King limping out instead of riding out, look, I don't know. I just think you put him on a cart and go on about your business. I understand players want to seem like the Warriors, but what would you rather have, D'Eriq King starting game 1 or Jake Garcia? Because if Jake Garcia is starting game 1 against Bama, it's going to be a long night for Alabama fans. Yeah, when I played the Lakeland Gators, they knocked the wind out of me. The good old days. Yes, sir. I used to play for the Lakeland Gators too. A long time ago. Long time ago, I played for the Lakeland Gators.
Thank you very much. So the Cowboys take over on offense, which has stalled a little bit here.
When do you expect the Partridge kid? There's a lot of conflicting reports on him. There's reports that he won't sign or transfer out until he gets his plan. Initially, he said, I think before the new year, he planned on announcing. While at the same time, it was also reported that he plans on getting his degree at Kansas first, which means he wouldn't come to Florida State until May, I think, somewhere around there. Maybe after spring, somewhere around there.
Jackson in the backfield, pressure on the quarterback. The football is loose. And Oklahoma State.
Boy had no pocket awareness right there. Good thing Miami defense showing some life though. Yeah, you gotta get the ball out your hands. So we'll see what happens there. He could either, by some reports, he's expected to announce by the end of this week. By others, till after he gets his degree at the University of Kansas or Kansas University, whatever the hell they're called, the Jayhawks. You guys know them. 3rd and 20. Miami should get a chance to score here before halftime, as long as they don't give up some ridiculous 3rd and 20 right here. Another very conservative play call from Oklahoma State. James Cook is thinking about FSU. Bitch should have signed with FSU to start with. I don't want that loser. Man, you tough, Encyclopedia. Why would you not want James Cook? Once Perry gets warmed up, just watch. Okay, CJ. We'll see. He's about to get he's about to get a 2-minute drill. We're coming up right here. He's about to get a chance at a 2-minute drill. We'll see what he can do. You know it's messed up when the Chicago Bears scores a touchdown in our own backyard and the fans cheer loud.
And Tom Hutton, a 30-year-old true sophomore from Australia. Let's see who will launch this one.
Oh, he muffed it. He muffed it. Wow, he muffed it. They better hope they got it back. They better hope they got it back.
As they take him off the pile, another loose football as Harley bobbled it.
Oklahoma State got it. Wow. Wow. I literally said he should have left. Why come back to play his 6th year? Now look. Perry trash defense. Okay. Alabama by 50 plus. Just like Notre Dame. Ain't nobody saving us from Alabama, bro. Come on. This Manny D. I feel you, maiden day, but again, you gotta put yourself in the best position. I think D'Eriq King put you in the best position. I mean, any given Saturday, right? You never know what could happen. We talked about Jermaine Johnson already. Big get. We about to talk about Oklahoma State scoring right here. You got to catch that 80. That was right in your hands. True made in Dade. Tyler Van Dyke will start against Alabama next year. That'd be ugly. Who wins out of OSU versus Clemson? Clemson should win it. OSU doesn't. It's not like that OSU is not talented. I don't think OSU even belongs in the college football playoff. So I would. Don't believe me. There's no love lost here for Clemson. But I would go for Clemson. Pope, who do you think wins the championship this year? I'd go with Bama, but it wouldn't shock me if Clemson won it because I think Clemson's defense might actually be better than Bama's. And Clemson can score, so such a poorly coached team. Come on, Miami. Well, at least there's, they seem to have made some adjustments defensively because these guys ain't moving the ball like they were those first 3 drives. They're getting pressure. They're getting pressure, which is really making a difference. That quarterback doesn't have time to do what he was doing those first 3 drives. So at least Miami's made some kind of adjustments.
Almost looks like Spencer Sanders is saying to Wallace, like, hey, I thought you were doing something else. A little bit of
We'll see what adjustments is made at halftime. Coaching staff needs to go. I've been said it. The coach, he didn't muff the punt. Man, whatever it's Cook, Sanders, or Barry Sanders, no, we're gonna have to get 2 running back downs during the season like he did in Memphis. Period. No excuses. I feel you there, Hardaway. I feel you there. Well, imagine if he would have muffed that one. Imagine if he muffed that one. James Cook coming to FSU. Until I see it, until he hits the portal, bro, I don't believe so. Once he hits the portal, all bets are off. The delusionals are bragging about this top 10 recruiting class, but forgot who's coaching them. Well, they're not even top 10. They're top 11. They're right outside the top 10 as of right now. If I'm not, Miami's right outside the top 10. If FSU wasn't good for poor man's Dalvin during high school, senior year, what's the change? He's a selfish player, in my opinion. How is he a selfish player? What? You know, we got to be careful of the narratives we put on these kids. What has James Cook shown that he makes him a selfish player? He's been in the rotation at Georgia. They use him all over the field as a receiver, as a running back. He's done what they've asked him for 3 years there at Georgia. What has made him a selfish player? I'm curious. Tell me how is he a selfish player? What's made him a selfish player? Oh my God, that was a terrible drop by number 8. That was a good throw. Good throw. I mean, it looked like one of those back shoulder throws. I know they're calling it underthrown, but he put it right where number 8 could get it. Oh, come on. That's that guy. He looking like Warren Thompson out there. Number 8 looked like Warren Thompson might have just transferred to Miami. That might be Warren Thompson out there on the field. That was bad. They could put me on scholarship to catch that.
Miami's certainly not playing it safe here.
I like how they letting Perry air it out, though.
Second down 10. It's about short here to Pope, and Pope will be tied up.
If Clemson win, would Trevor have an amazing game? Would I consider him a top 5 quarterback ever in college football? I think he could, man. Definitely. I mean, if just with his record alone, while he won't have the stats, he probably won't have the stats of some of the all-time quarterbacks. If he was to win, would that make his second national championship, right? If he was to win and then play amazing in the game, and then have a career record of what, 1 or 2 losses? Yeah, I think you could put him as top 5 quarterback of all time. I would say that. I could definitely say that. Last time we was in the best position, Butch Davis was the head coach, and before that, Erickson, and before that, Jimmy. I don't blame James Cook for not signing with us in the beginning. We had trash-ass Willie Taggart and Lisa. That's another point to make. He didn't want to play for Taggart. I mean, man, Wiggins' hands are terrible. That was Warren Thompson. It was no stability and a horrible culture. So of course Cook didn't sign. That doesn't make him selfish. I agree, Brandon. I don't see the how is he selfish? That's the kid. Every kid in the transfer portal right now is selfish because they're all trying to look and further their opportunity or put themselves in the best position. So I don't see it. I don't see it. Clemson will not beat Bama. Period. Transferring so you can start instead of sticking with your team is selfish. Well, then again, all of those kids are selfish. It means every kid that we just took in the transfer portal is selfish because Mackenzie Milton is transferring to do what? To start and improve his draft stock so he can potentially get drafted. The guy we just picked from Georgia, Jermaine Johnson, he didn't start at Georgia. He was a rotation piece, but he's coming to Florida State to start. So all these guys that we're picking up are selfish if that's the case. I'm just saying, bro. You got to keep that same energy with everybody, not just because James Cook is doing it. Every kid in the portal is selfish if we're going to go by that. If we're going to go by that logic, every kid in the transfer portal is selfish. How did 8 drop that? Warren Thompson in disguise, bro. Warren Thompson in disguise. Willie Taggart is probably a great man, but being a great man won't make you a great coach. If he was to win a national championship, that would make him 30. 36-1 as a starter. That'd be his second national top 5. He can. I think statistically he Won't have the statistics maybe to be considered the best college quarterback of all time. But that record alone, 2 national championships alone, is going to put him in the category, though. I think it's going to put him in the category. One of the best quarterback prospects in the last 20 years. I mean, I think it put him in the conversation for damn sure. Willie Taggart's offense was so trash that they couldn't score more points than Trump's score in a presidential election. That's not selfish. That's smart. NFL free agents go to new teams and start to get more money. But coaches can up and leave when they want to. How are these kids selfish? Right, bro. I don't think he's selfish. Sounds to me like Encyclopedia's got something against James Cook for whatever reason, because again, we're going to use that logic. Every single kid in the portal right now who's looking to better their position, they're selfish. They're selfish. If we're going by that logic. And I just think some kids are trying to, again, better their position in the draft and life. There's nothing wrong with that. Who was the most talented QB you ever saw? College football level. Wow. At the college football level. Who is the most talented guy I've ever seen? I'll be honest with you guys. That year that Cam Newton had at Auburn, probably single-handedly one of the best I had ever seen. Lamar was doing amazing things. Cannot forget about Jay Boo. What he did as the jump he made from EJ to Jameis was just took that whole entire offense. Again, EJ played with the same guys Jameis played with. Took that offense to an entirely different level. Those are just some of the guys that I can remember. Vince Young was nasty, but Vince Young really, while he was good, it was more so that moment in that championship game that defined Vince Young. You guys might laugh at me for saying this, but if we're just talking pure talent, like arm talent, like Jamarcus Russell maybe had the best arm to this day. Jamarcus Russell probably saw as the best arm I had ever seen. I never saw a guy on his knees throw the ball 70 yards from his knees. Dude had the best arm I have ever seen in Jamarcus Russell. That's what I would, those are just some of the guys at the college level. He says, that's fine with me if you want to call them all selfish. At least most of those guys didn't turn us down as a legacy player. Can you really count, James Cook as a leg? I mean, I guess technically, yeah, he's a legacy because his brother played. But you also got to look at that. At the time, we had Cam Akers on the roster. At that time, we saw Jaquez. We had a really stacked backfield. I mean, he didn't have any ties with Willie Taggart. He would have came if Jimbo would have came. I mean, that's who he had his ties with was Fisher. I don't know. I don't think you can look at his situation and go, he had to come to Florida State. Like, you won't get drafted to the NFL because you were loyal to your team. You get drafted off your performance. I think Florida State should recruit like the old days. The physical wideouts, running game, the defense was bread and butter. They're getting smaller and smaller the last 2 years. Well, for one, Todd, the game has changed. So in certain positions, you're going to get smaller. One position to me they need to get smaller in is linebacker. If you look at today's league, you don't see 250, 240, or even 230-pound linebackers, even at the NFL level. A lot of guys are 220. I mean, Telvin Smith was an all-pro at like 220 at the best. You feel me? Like, and that's because the game has gone to really a bigger, more passing. You need your linebackers to be able to cover. If your linebackers can't cover, the middle of your defense gets exposed. That's why the linebacker position has gotten smaller and faster. Right? So, at certain positions, I think you get smaller. certain positions, you know, you need to beef it up. So that's just me there. They got to stop capping with all this James Cook selfish. It's people's opinion. Everybody's got an opinion. I'm not gonna label the kid selfish and not label again the guy that we just got from Georgia as not being selfish. How long do you think it will take us to win the ACC again? We'll get there, Michael. We have to win first, y'all. The more we win, the blue chip recruits will come. Give Norvell the time. Are we good at safety next year? Well, let's look at the safeties. As of right now, everybody should be coming back with the exception of Nasruddin at safety. So you still got Brandon Gant, who came on at the end of the year. Let's hope Brandon Gant makes a leap. Raymond Woody, you still got him. Still got Travis J. Sidney Williams, who as a true freshman got a lot of playing time. You still got Janarius Green McKnight, who I don't even think we saw much this year, but you have a chance to see him. It all depends on the growth. A lot of unproven talent back there. I think you probably start off the season. If I had to guess, you probably would start off the season with Travis J and Brandon Gant as your two starting safeties. And I'd be fine with that. You find a way to put Jameson there. Don't even blame you. Talent is talent. You had to put Jameson there. I mean, again, if you look at Jameson's overall record in his career, he only had one loss. Made the first college football playoff. The Dalvin Cook fumble really changed the outcome of that Oregon game, or who knows, Jameis might have won 2 back-to-back. Yeah, I mean, you just can't dismiss Jameis Winston and what he was able to do at the college level. Yeah, we should run the wishbone and wear leather helmets. Michael Vick was amazing too. Do you think we need to add another D in? I do. With Kendo and Jay, initially I didn't think so. I thought as long as Kendo stays, we got upgrade in my opinion over J-Rob. Kendo should be playing for money. I thought before he declared for the draft, I thought he would stay a year and really be playing for that money season. I mean, he really just played his first year without any injuries this year. Coming the next year, another year into it, really try to put it all out there. He leaves prematurely, in my opinion. And he's going to go try to make some money. So with that being said, what other veteran defensive ends do we have? I don't think we have any. Add another guy. Who do you think will be our starting QB? You didn't bring Mackenzie Milton in here not to be the starter. Only thing that's going to hinder Mackenzie Milton is if he's not healthy. And from everything I've heard, seen some video, the kid's ready to go. Everything I'm hearing out of UCF is that he is 100% ready to go. Mackenzie Milton is your starter next year. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. 226 Tim, what's going on? Why it looked like somebody copy and paste my comment from another FSU football page and just posted it. What is that comment? Because I'm not sure what you're talking about. Tim. So definitely enlighten me on what that comment is. Rashad Gibson says you're forgetting about Ronaldo. Absolutely, I did forget about Ronaldo Green. Thanks for correcting me. He actually played really good in his time at safety this year. So I did forget about Ronaldo Green. He could be another guy. So we got plenty of your safeties. Do you think Josh Griffiths could move inside D tackle? No, don't see that one. I don't see that. If you're going to move somebody inside, I think you could see like a Curtis Fan move inside. I think they should have put the weight on Quayshawn Fuller and moved him inside. He has the kind of body type. Josh Griffiths, I think he's fine on the edge. As a true freshman, I thought he played admirably. We'll see how he continues to grow. Devonta Smith should be the Heisman winner. He's the best player in college football. Biggest needs, in my opinion, are wide receiver, O-line, and linebacker. So for me, the biggest needs going forward is wide receiver. We got to add a portal guy and got to hold on to Hill. Hill has to commit. Hill has to sign. I would love to add a tackle. I agree with you there. I think they are content with their linebacker position. I would put DN. DN is still a major need. DN is still a major need. I'm fine with people want to disagree. I'm not super sensitive about that. I just think that unless there's a major coaching change, you shouldn't transfer. It's breaking a promise. Coach Norvell just followed Crawford. I don't know if you care about that type of stuff. I mean, it's good to see that they're reaching out, at least having the conversation. That's all I'm asking for, right? Do I want you to land them? Hell yeah. But what I would hate to hear is Crawford signed to. I'm gonna just throw the Gators out there. Well, I would hate to hear that Crawford signed to the Gators and then come to find out that our staff didn't even contact him, right? So at least if he's following them, they've had some contact, they've had some conversation. So yeah, does that mean he's coming? No, but at least you're trying. I'm with that. The transfer portal's kind of fickle, so we'll see. We'll see if they can get him. Are you still convinced with? If you've been watching me more than a day, I ain't never been convinced on Adam Fuller, unless you mean convinced to fire him. Yeah, I'm convinced that we need to fire him. I ain't never been convinced he was the defensive coordinator. Anybody who's watched me for more than 2 minutes should know that. I should just change my name to Fire Adam Fuller or 863 Fire Fuller TV. We'll figure something out there. But no, Adam Fuller should be fired. I should have been fired already. I just don't talk about it much anymore because I know he'll be back next year. So there's no point to beat a dead horse, so to speak. Both Dalvin's fumbles changed that Oregon game. Absolutely, sniper. I see Florida State is ranked 3. Yeah, they fell in recruiting because of the chemo decommitment. I agree Griffiths didn't play bad, needs more time. I just think we may recruit over him. Hey, you recruit guys to take people's positions, Tyler. Yeah, I feel you. And I know Griffiths is kind of a fan favorite. If he's not good enough, then he's just not good enough. That's the problem I want. I don't want to have to keep throwing Griffiths out there and only for 3 years down the road to say, Griffiths was never that good. It's not anything against Josh Griffiths. But hey, you either step your game up or get left behind. We'll see what he does. It's all about how Josh Griffiths answers the call, so to speak. Disregard. It's not even important, but man, we need to go back to getting our program back to old school football, physically, strength, size, and just having the ability to leave it on the line. We need size. Again, I feel you, Tim, but we need size at certain positions. I think people get it misconstrued. Let me break it down to you guys real quick. There's a reason why Miami and Florida State, and I'm going to count Miami in here because, to be honest with you, Miami was really the first team to really do it. Florida State kind of copied the model. When I'm talking about size, back in the day, you recruited linebackers who were huge. How big was Ray Lewis and Derek Brooks and Marvin Jones and a lot of these fast linebackers back in the day? They weren't very big. FSU, the South, mainly FSU, Miami, these Southern teams, they were the first teams that were putting undersized linebackers on the field. I'm talking 200-pound linebackers, 210-pound linebackers. Now, those guys ended up getting bigger in the NFL and all that. FSU and Miami were the first teams to really start doing that. They were the first teams. That's why all that when people say SEC speed, no, it's not SEC speed. It's Florida State. It's Florida speed, period. The Florida schools were the schools that started the entire speed movement on defense, right? So offensive line, sure, you want those guys big and strong, but certain positions, speed kills. Speed will always kill. You go look at those great FSU defenses, those great Miami defenses. They had speed. They weren't huge. They weren't huge at a lot of positions. They had speed. They were physical and strong, but they weren't just big. Speed kills. Smith is the second best player. I can't put anybody above Trevor Lawrence. I feel you. You're gonna turn on the basketball game. What channel is the basketball game coming on? I might turn it on. It's a new age. Florida isn't exclusive to FSU Miami anymore. You can recruit anyone anywhere with the web. FSU is not going to out talent 90% of the teams they play anymore. I was trying to get you to spaz on Adam Fuller. What up with the guy Andrew Parchment? Are we close to possibly getting him? Can be somewhat like Terry 2.0. He got the size and speed. Yep, talking about Parchment. He himself said he's expected to announce before the new year, while other reports have kind of said he's going to wait to get his degree and then announce where he's going. But the consensus thought is FSU is the team to beat there. Keeping Fuller will be like winning the lottery and putting the loot in a lit fireplace. No matter how many points we score with Milton next season, the defense will give up just as that is not far off right there. That kind of goes into this whole me predicting next year type of deal. Stop. They will have more talent than most teams they play. And the ACC for sure. I don't care, how you kind of put it. Even if you look at this last year, and I did it. I did it here live. We broke down the roster and the star rankings to tell you that FSU was more talented than 99% of the team, including Miami. If you just break down the rankings, the stars on the team, FSU was more talented than every team they played, with the exception of Clemson. Yet the record doesn't show. This staff definitely values size. They do. So this staff, at least Adam Fuller on defense, he values size because he's very big on playing Lundy, who's like 240, and Dix, who's like 236. I don't have a problem with size if it can move, because then you have a special player. So they definitely value size. We'll see how that works out for those guys. Whoops. Did you hear what happened to King? I saw everybody knows he got carried out. Did they diagnose him already? I didn't hear but yeah, I know he's hurt and it doesn't look too good. It may not even look good going into next year for D'Eriq King. But I wish him a speedy recovery. I honestly do. Regardless of what team you play for, I never want to see a kid have to go through that. Yeah, that would mean we would have subpar coaching for 2 decades. Every team has Florida kids now. For 2 decades? How have we had subpar coaching for 20 years? I don't think we I don't know where you're going with that. And sometimes I don't know if we think before we type things. We got our speed from Manhunt. I believe that the transfer portal can change things in a good way. For real, Fuller being fired needs to happen, and insert Charlie Strong is just being a dead horse. Florida State was terrible this year, but there were only 3 teams that the players were talent. Maybe 3 teams. There was, again, if you just go by the stars, and I know stars and the rankings don't mean everything, but if you just go by the recruiting rankers and the number 4-star blue chip prospects FSU had, you can only really name Clemson as having a more talented team, and that includes Miami. FSU's used to severely out-talent everyone. You're not right. You're not wrong about that. That's absolutely true. But that's just not 20 years ago. That 2013 team was severely more talented than everyone, given every single player on that team was drafted. So that's any team, though. It's not just Florida State. LSU last year, look at the amount of players that just simply more talented. I mean, that's almost every national championship team can say that. I heard Dabo is candidate for the Jacksonville job. Jaguar fans hope. I wish I had the opportunity to finish my years and journey at FSU, man. I played in Miami with Devontae Freeman from Little League to high school, somewhat college, off the field legal issues killed that. I'm sorry to hear that, Tim. As young kids, we make mistakes sometimes, but you live and you grow, right? You live and you grow. What have you heard about the transfer linebacker named Rice out of Arkansas State? He's about 210, 215, and he's tackling machine at that level. I do know that, yes, he is a target. I haven't heard how serious he is with Florida State, if there's any interest from his side or any of that. But the name I'm familiar with, and I'm familiar with the guy, but I haven't heard anything personally. We never talk about the ACC titles in the 90s. If we out talent everyone, we're still in that top 4 streak now. Rankings on paper don't matter at times, but coaching can make players better or worse. We don't out talent as much as we used to. That's more what I'm saying. Talent is spread out. It's definitely spread out. You're not wrong there. But if you can lock down the state, which at this point in 2020, in a lot of ways, that's kind of impossible to lock down the state of Florida. Kids don't necessarily care about staying in Miami anymore.
Here in the second half, Mike Harley's going to take it out. Harley looking for some open spaces, finally drive down hard.
Looks like that should have been a horse collar. Yeah, they called it. That looked like it should have been one.
Of the second half, with Oklahoma State in charge, 21.
All right, start of the second half. Does anybody know what channel the basketball game comes on and what time does it come on? I think they play Clemson today, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. Pretty sure FSU plays Clemson today. What's your opinion on the linebacker we offered today? What's his name?
Here's a look at what happened to King.
What's his name, Tyler? I didn't see.
Clearly, it was enough to.
It's on the ACC network. It's 11-10, Clemson over Florida State right now, the basketball game. So we'll definitely keep an eye. We're going to keep an eye on that one. Polk, didn't y'all get that? Yeah, we got the linebacker / defensive end from Georgia. Yeah, we did get him. ACC network. Yeah, I saw that. I believe the right legacy coach can change recruiting in a great way. Florida State needs to stop playing hard schedules. I don't agree with that, Todd. FSU made its mark off of going into the big house and beating Michigan. Okay, Makosi got the guy deep, and he dropped. Yeah, y'all wide receivers are garbage. Y'all wide receivers are trash, CJ. Makosi put that ball right where it needed to be. Y'all wide receivers are garbage. I thought our wide receivers are bad. What's going on, man? What is going on? Perry put that ball right where it needed to be. Wow. Yeah, maiden day, bro. What is going on with the receivers? I thought our receivers was bad. That was Miami's beating themselves, y'all. Oklahoma State's not even that good. Miami's just looking like a poor coach team tonight. You want to come in, CJ? Come on in. You can come in. Let me put the link in. Anybody else want to come in? Y'all can come in too. Let me put the link in the chat. Hit the like button, man. 45 people in the building. Hit the like button. Yeah, but Dugans ain't been there for 2 or 3 years, maiden day. I don't want to hear that. And believe me, I want Dugans gone, bro. So I'm with you on the Dugans thing, but Dugans ain't been there in 2 or 3 years. I don't know. You can't keep blaming Dugans. Who taught him this year though? Who's taught him the last 2 years? I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. Let me bring CJ up in here.
It's going to Mike Harley, and then Brevin James just gets up on the sideline. And I would just say, if we look at the Coach Carey's numbers, what's a different offense? An offensive line that was not playing nearly as well.
Yo.
What's going on?
Do you
Man?
see what I'm talking about now?
What's going on with these receivers?
You see what I'm talking about, though, Pope?
I see what you're talking about.
Now, with Perry been throwing, he been throwing the same type of passes, and the wide receiver Ben is bad. But when King get in there, now they want to mention.
But Perry been more, to me, from what I've watched, Perry looked like he been more accurate tonight. But the receivers ain't helping him at all.
Exactly. Look, he just dropped another ball, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I must be behind.
and they keep these wide receivers in, bro, and they keep blaming Perry, but it ain't Perry. I keep telling these folks. Of course, he's gonna throw some interception. He'll sling them.
Yeah, Wiggins had a touchdown if he held on to that.
Exactly. And they keep these same wide receivers, and you can't tell me it's not a personnel call also of keeping these wide receivers in. Why you gonna keep them in? You keep seeing them drop the ball, man.
That was actually a really well-designed play right there. That was actually a good call.
Exactly.
And, yeah, receiver messed that one all up.
Oh, he overthrew him, but he still caught it. And that wasn't even one of the regular receivers. That was Redden.
Because it's into the boundary, they just run out of room. The right place with the football.
That was a good catch, though.
Yeah, but see, if you had been putting the wide receivers in, then it would have been touchdown all game. But you see,
what have you seen this game though that you don't like, other than the defense? But I think the defense has kind of turned it up a little bit.
They turned it up because they respect Perry. They want to get Perry more touches.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah, they want to see him do better. Let me tell you something. I've been sitting there telling folks longer.
What's up, Todd?
These longer. I'm telling folks these longer.
Folks doing?
Hey.
Go ahead, Jake.
But yo, you see how Red Lashley opened that playbook up to throw the ball deeper, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then. So that should tell you right there that he has more faith.
That is what it looks like to me. I'm not gonna lie. It looks like Red Lashley been throwing the ball deeper now that Perry in the game.
Okay, then. So that should tell you King.
And he was doing a lot more design runs when De'Aaron King was in the game.
King. So what Red Lashley would knew that King arm is not like Perry arm. So he's gonna run the ball more. That's what I was trying to tell everybody. You can't blame Red Lashley for working with what he got. Plain and simple.
What you got, Pope? What you got, Todd Pope? How you doing tonight?
Oh, I just got home from driving in a blizzard. Work.
Oh man.
Welcome to America's #1 battery destination. Carlson, your battery solution.
Yeah, I do. That's
Because the sound is so tender and delicious, it has inspired song.
So maybe just a cable?
Welcome to America's #1 battery
But you don't need to know
Let me check on the basketball score real quick.
It's fine.
This is a sound known to all by reputation.
There's a lot of sports tonight, and the Knicks are playing tonight too.
Is back. The most important
What T2Y talking about, CJ?
He talking about some the offensive coordinator ain't calling the right plays. King been doing this, and I keep telling over and over again. I say, dog, the coordinator calling what he called his quarterback, and then we keep on sending his defense out there back to back because we're going 3 and out so quick because we running the ball.
I don't agree with T2Y right there. I think from what I've seen, Lashley been dialing up some decent plays. You can't. Guys ain't catching the ball, man.
Exactly,
ball, bro.
And then it don't help that you have a quarterback as in King throwing balls, overthrowing them, underthrowing them. I mean, it's kind of hard for you as a coordinator to call pass plays deep when you know your quarterback ain't gonna consistently get it there. I'm just saying. See, now we finna see Redden. We finna see Redden, Raspo, the other wide receiver because they see Wiggins and them can't get it done.
Well, it's only 21-13, so the game, which looked like the game could have got ugly, it ain't got ugly. So
yeah. But see that. Go ahead.
So y'all should be at least, If y'all make another stop here, I mean, you're right in the game. The game ain't over.
I feel like I've seen
As long as we get some wide receivers, as long as they rotate, they take out the other wide receivers, we can come back and win the game. Because Perry gonna put it on there. He gonna put it on the money now. I ain't gonna say he ain't gonna throw no interceptions, but I can't guarantee that. But I'm pretty sure his touchdown ratio gonna be higher than losing the game right about now on the interception.
FSU is up 14-11 on Clemson basketball team. What thoughts you got tonight, Todd? What you want to talk about?
It's so up for grab. That's what I was concerned. Now Kano ain't gonna be ready. I don't think Kano will be drafted. He'll probably be a 4th or 5th round pick. He still doesn't know how to use his hands to get penetration or pass rush. But yeah, so it's gonna be a big question mark. Who's gonna start on the defensive line?
I agree. I think defensive end is a huge question mark. I think Kano should have came back. Again, I'm with you. I don't even think he'll be a 4th round pick, I don't think Kano would get drafted unless he goes to the combine and really puts up some good combine numbers. He needed another year, in my opinion.
Only one is going to be the highest pick out of all seniors this year. By far is going to be Asante Samuel. He might be a late 1st or early 2nd.
I think Asante will get drafted. Nasruddin will get drafted. Marv's definitely going to get drafted. And Terry, those 4 players will get drafted.
I'll say Terry's probably going to be.
He's able to get the stretch to Sanders and get him down.
Junior out of Jacksonville, Florida.
But I see our running back, our depth and running back is spurred. I imagine they'll put Lundy at fullback. Because, man, you put that 6'1", 244-pound guy to just go in there and smash people just like William Floyd used to do. No, Greg Jones used to do. I don't know. Got a lot of speed back there. The wide receivers are going to be really like, who's going to step up and play? Who do you trust?
I agree there. Hey, CJ.
And the offensive line.
Yeah.
What happened tonight, and why haven't we seen any of him?
I think he's out. Yeah,
He's
he's out. Either he's out, he out on injury, or he had a corona, one or the other. But I think they're gonna put in Burns more. Bro, Harley caught a dang on punt return. Oh, Oklahoma State quarterback messed his hand up. But you see how the defense don't got live now since they got Perry. They want Perry to throw the ball more. They know they got a better chance of winning with the passing game now.
And Miami with the football back in a conversation here.
Miami might mess around and win this game.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State should be ashamed of themselves.
All these wide receivers got to do is just catch the ball. That's all they got to do, catch the ball. Now, Poe, if we win the game and Perry bring us back, I'm gonna talk TTY.
But my thing is, if Perry bring y'all back, is there a quarterback controversy next year? I know you think so.
Far as when it comes to King, depending on how bad his injury is, he might have to switch position by the time he come back. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say he might have well went ahead and went to the NFL anyway, because it just shows you can't keep running into players and think you're just gonna be all good every game. Every team ain't finna sit there and take it lightly on them hits. Some be targeting on legs, some be targeting up high. It depends on where they want to hit you with. If you don't slide, that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get injured. And so now he's gonna sit out. Hopefully, it's not that bad of an injury where he can come back and do enough time. But if he doesn't, then by the time then we'll have a quarterback by next season, whether it be Van Dyke, Perry, or Garcia. It doesn't matter. By the time then, we'll have an established quarterback. He just had to move to a wide receiver or running back. Just like I've been saying, it's gonna happen eventually. Because he wasn't gonna get drafted in the first 3, 4, 5, maybe possibly 6, 7 rounds. He might have been an undrafted agent.
Who, King?
Yeah.
King wasn't getting drafted, bro.
No, exactly. That's my point. You know what I'm saying? Not a quarterback, but
not as a quarterback, right? Not as a quarterback.
if you would switch the wide receiver running back, like I've been saying, because everybody been think I've been joking, but like for real, he has to switch. He has to.
Maiden Day says an MCL injury, not
Ooh.
official yet.
Oh my god.
We got a vote for David Perdue.
Oh, and Miami basketball team losing too against Virginia Tech. I had to throw that up there.
Here's your choice, Georgia. Kelly Leffler's trying to make you afraid of me.
I can see King as kind of like a
You'll realize we can do better.
kind of like a Julian Edelman if he goes wide receiver.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Slot receiver.
I can see that too. Yeah, slot
Yeah.
receiver.
Oh, he could be a Randall L. Using the trick plays.
That's what the Patriots did with Edelman in that one Super Bowl. And he threw that pass to Amazon to win the game.
Yeah, but see, when I told everybody in my fan base, it's like you crazy, you delusional. No, that's the best position for him right now.
The quarterback, the deep gets stepped on quite a bit, but it's Harrison up to 81. Watch him as he's pursuing the quarterback.
I don't know what to say about the defense right now.
I don't care what it is, man. Florida teams do not. I don't care if you're Miami, Florida State, Florida. Florida teams do not lose in their own state. Period.
Not
Especially bowl
supposed to.
games.
Not supposed to.
Yeah, not
No.
supposed to.
No.
Oh, he caught the ball, y'all. Pope caught the ball. This is a surprise. That's surprising to me.
They're starting to see this Big 12 defense.
Well, we've been talking about that anyway, because we always say they ain't had no defense anyway, for real.
That's why I thought this was going to be a shootout game anyway. So it's not really surprising me that Miami coming back. It's kind of surprising me that they are the defense is stepping up the way it's stepping up.
Well, I mean, it's surprising that they go deep. They go deep. Oh, you gotta fight for that ball, Harley. But it's not surprising that we in the close like we is right now. But if King would have stayed in there, it would have been still struggling trying to move that ball, man. Trying to figure things out because of the far as passing line. Hey, did y'all get that guy from Georgia? The linebacker, number 11? I don't know his name.
Yeah, we picked him up. Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he transferred over.
But y'all got somebody else. Y'all had got somebody
A lot
else.
of athletes are transfer over. There's a lot of
Say it
people
again?
are leaving because they want to be close to home. I said there's a lot of athletes are leaving because they want to be close to home. This coronavirus has affected a lot of people this year. No doubt
Bro,
about it.
definitely. Yep.
Absolutely. That's why
You look at Webb. He's one of
when these people start talking about kids being selfish, I don't know where that's coming from.
Well, let me ask you this. This is something that TTY asked me. He said, do you feel, no, not TTY, my uncle had asked me. And he said, do you feel like they should be playing the bowl game, even though they want to go to the NFL, or do you think it's all right for them to just go ahead and go to the NFL thing or not, as far as out and up?
I think every player should make their own decision on their situation. I'm not against guys necessarily, especially if it's a meaningless bowl game. Like who the hell cares if a kid plays in the Cheez-It Bowl or the Minor Key Car Bowl? Like who the hell cares? You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm being quite honest with you. Especially if you're a top pick, why risk blowing the knee out? Like you just saw what happened to De'Aaron King tonight. Why? Imagine if De'Aaron King was a prospect tonight.
Yeah.
He just ruined all his money tonight because he just blew his knee out. Like, why ruin that? Now, if it's the national championship, if it's the playoff, then I think most kids will play those games. They won't opt out of those type of games. I don't have a problem with. I don't got a problem with them opting out.
I just feel like if the coaches can do it, why can't the players do it?
Exactly. If a coach can leave in the middle of a season and pull a Jimbo and just stop doing his job, Why can't a kid, why does the kid have to play in the Papa John's Pizza Bowl?
A Little Caesar Pizza Bowl.
You feel me? Like why?
Well, you know, Delvin Cook didn't sit up in the year we won the Orange Bowl and beat Michigan. And if he wasn't in that game, we would have lost to Michigan. No doubt about it.
I completely agree. And shout out to Dalvin because Dalvin wanted to do that. But I wouldn't have been mad if he sat out personally.
And plus, you know, Christian McCaffrey and Leonard Fournette wasn't playing in that year too. They're getting
Right.
back.
Remember they sat out their bowl game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and if and look, Dalvin didn't get picked to what, the second round?
Yeah.
Yes, to the Vikings.
If they did that whole draft over, Dalvin's the first running back off the board. Only other, maybe McCaffrey still goes, but those two easily were the two best running backs in that class.
I kind of felt bad for Dalvin going to the Vikings though.
He's the only thing the Vikings got.
That's what I'm saying. But the only good thing about that for his position is that he can get that kind of contract he want though.
What's up, AR? But man, to me, the kids, they should be able to do it. I don't have a problem with it either way. I don't think it's quitting if they go opt out or nothing like that.
I'm trying to figure out why they punting the ball. We 4th and 1.
Now that to me, that's only if they are like a top first round type of pick. You don't want to mess up that money. But if you're like a 5th round pick, opting out for it, you need all the tape you can get.
You're lying.
So I will say that if you're not a top pick, you need to play football. But if you're Jadeveon Clowney, what you need to play for?
Kind of like how we got Phillips and Roche out their bowl game. I mean, we know they ain't going no first, second round, third round.
Probably going first round. Right?
Who there?
The other DN, y'all got Rousseau.
Oh yeah, Russo going first. But
that's what I'm saying. So to me, it made sense for him to opt out of the season because he's going first round regardless.
Yeah, but I understand why Phillips did and Roche. Why they opted out their bowl game.
I thought Phillips was going to come back. That's what I thought.
He should have.
Giuseppe, what's going on? Oh, somebody messing up.
I still have a feeling Devo might go to Jacksonville, and they might draft Trevor Lawrence.
I think they're going to draft Trevor Lawrence. It'd be interesting to see if Dabo goes to Jacksonville, though.
If the money's right, he will.
A lot of people speculating Dabo to leave Clemson. That'd be the greatest thing that happened to the ACC.
Oh, absolutely.
Got to open up the playing field. Another thing. Go ahead.
I said it doesn't. Not necessarily because Clemson still has talent. I mean,
they have talent for sure, but look, that doesn't mean anybody. That doesn't mean you can just plug and play anybody, and that stuff's gonna continue to keep turning out the way it's turning out. Because if that was the case, Willie Taggart would have took over for Jimbo, and it would have continued. And they got to get the right guy in there. And if Nick Saban retires, I believe if Dabo doesn't take an NFL job, if Nick Saban were to retire, that'd be Alabama's first pick. Would try to go get Dabo Swinney.
Yeah,
I think they got the first right there.
I don't know. It just this year's football season has been up and down season. There's a lot of teams. A lot of good teams that struggled this year, like Penn State. And yes, Ohio State, it got rigged because they played 6 games. There's a lot of people upset about that. You know, it's just stupid. But like I said, Alabama's just too loaded, too much speed, too much talent, too much size. Nobody's going to touch them. I don't care who you are.
I don't necessarily disagree. I think Clemson will give them a shot, though, because I think Clemson can rush the passer better than most of the teams Alabama has played.
True. But Alabama's defense has given up a lot of points.
That's what I'm saying. And plus, Alabama's defense isn't that great this year. So You know, Trevor Lawrence
Heck, they
gets
got
hot. That Clemson team could do some stuff.
yeah. And plus, you got Charles Kelly on that coaching staff in Alabama. I guess he's a secondary coach. Go figure.
So
Yeah,
Ray,
I think
50.
I don't. So
Uh-oh. Touchdown Miami.
yeah, it's gonna be kind of a mystery. I mean, it's what I meant by earlier about tough schedule. I mean, come on, we're playing LSU next year. That's gonna be a tough game.
Now we're playing Notre Dame. LSU isn't till the year after next.
Well, Notre Dame's offensive line is probably one of the best in college football. Those 5 guys are going to get
But they're
first round
losing all
pick.
those guys. See, that kind of brings me to like the next conversation piece is like, what is the expectation for this Florida State team next year? Notre Dame's going to be losing a lot and we get them game 1. You have a chance to catch that team sleeping.
That's true. The problem is
you got to make that tackle. 21-21 Miami.
Now, if I was Florida State, I would have this chip on my shoulder because everybody, the media, and the whole world is I think they're just laughing on Florida State's back. They say, okay, Florida State suck. And it just like they just need to go out and just have a chip on their shoulder and have a mean streak like they did in the 90s and just and play like the world against them and just go out and surprise people and shut those sports haters, those sports analysts up. That's what Florida State needs to do.
What they need next year is going to be interesting because you got to ask yourself how much of an improvement Mackenzie Milton alone. How many games does he get you?
Well, I think the problem is it's probably over 6 games. I'll say probably 7.
I like.
Defense
Hold
depends
on,
with the wide receivers. You might have the best.
Hold on, give me a second because Phil is the typical Miami fan. Phil, at least Maiden Day been in here since day one. I mean, you know, since I started the show, CJ was here from the jump. Phil don't show his face until these boys. Phil was in the corner crying when it was 21-0. All of a sudden, Phil done shown up and want to show his ass because now it's 21-21 against Oklahoma State. Congrats, Phil. No, you didn't check in here earlier. I went down the whole comment section. You didn't check in here earlier. Don't do it, Phil. Don't do it. Don't embarrass yourself. You do this all the time. So now you want to come in here and now you want to talk. It's all good, Phil. It's all good. It's all good, Phil. Congratulations. Y'all are now tied up with Oklahoma State. Good job. After being down 21-0. Go ahead, Todd. I just had to let Phil know what was up.
Oh, like I said, Miami's a heckling Jekyll. You thought when they beat the crap out of us, it's like, hey, that team looks exploded. It could be a threat. Then whoever thought that team give up almost 500 yards on the ground against North Carolina, and we beat North Carolina. So how do you explain that, heckling Jekyll?
I feel you.
It's just like Florida State had that energy, like they want to beat Howe so bad because Howe didn't want to come to Florida State. And then when we play against Miami, that's when Terry was just trash because Terry was such a crybaby because the Miami defensive backs were just getting in his head and he was pouting like a little 5-year-old kid. And it's like, okay, that was when I know Terry was done for the rest of the year because you had to get. I would have to borrow my buddy's 565 horsepower New Holland 4-wheel drive tractor, tied to a 50-pound log chain, and pull Terry's head out of his butt. But that was a game that just kind of ruined Terry right there. He couldn't get open. I'm surprised Terry will be drafted. He'll probably be a free agent pickup because right now He's
No,
got a
he'll get
lot of
drafted.
black.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you one reason why he'll get drafted, because I've watched the NFL for a long time now. Terry's going to get drafted off of his speed alone. Terry's going to go to the combine, and Terry's going to run a sub 4.4 at 6'3", 6'4". As a wide receiver, he will be drafted because of that alone. They're not going to care about his route running or any of that. 6'4" and can run a 4.4. He will be drafted off of that alone.
Yeah.
I've seen lesser talented wide receivers get drafted because of their 40 time.
Yeah.
Guys who you never even heard of, but they went to the combine and ran 4.3 or 4.2 and got drafted. So Terry will get drafted. Where he gets drafted, I don't know, but he'll be on somebody's roster.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, the wide receiver is going to be like a question mark. I think the only thing that's going to really improve a lot, only two things right now is you can key on right now is the running backs and the offensive line. Because the offensive line has improved. And the running backs, it's kind of sad they quit. They're not going after Vika for just another insurance policy, and then they lost that offensive lineman. He's going to LSU. It's like, why are we losing all these contacts and not getting on their butts? And like, hey, keep coming and not keep trying to stay them afloat. It's just weird. It's like, wow. I said, okay, if you're a blue chip player, why are you going to go to a team where you're going to be redshirted just like Dalvin Cook's brother did play the field? I'm like, you're going to sit there and be sidelined, and and you're competing somebody who's maybe, not going to get to play. I don't know. It's just weird.
Turnover check. Oklahoma State is folding. They are folding.
Yes, they are.
They are folding, guys. But there's a penalty, so I don't know. Let's check on the basketball game. The Knicks are tied with the Cleveland Cavaliers 40-40. I know nobody cares, but I care. And then let's go to FSU's basketball team. 34-27, the basketball team is ahead. And MJ Walker has 7. Evans has 9. Scotty Barnes has 5.
I cannot believe they lost to UCF basketball team.
Yeah, that was a bad loss.
Yeah.
I agree there.
But next year they're going to have some. They got 2 guys. We got a 7-3 and a 7-1 coming in next year. My goodness.
I agree with Tyler on that block in the back, and I feel like these refs are starting to get. That wasn't tipped. But these refs are now calling everything. Man, it didn't look like it was tipped, but it was close. That's close. I mean, live football, it's hard for a ref to see that. But it doesn't really matter because I still say Oklahoma State is folding right now. They look like us. They're not dealing with the adversity. Like, they jumped out to a lead, and I don't know what happened. And the play calls, I'm not a fan of the play calls that Oklahoma State's going with right now. Good tackle by saving that, because number 3 was almost to the residents. But I'm not a fan of the Oklahoma State play calling right now. They're very conservative. Man, he grabbed his shoe in midair. 3rd and 6. See if Miami can get him off the field. That's close. I couldn't tell if it hit the ground or not. So how's that weather up there, Todd? You said you had to drive home in a blizzard.
Oh, I think we're supposed to get like 4 to 9 inches of snow.
Man, so I'm glad I'm here in Hawaii, man. I did not do
Oh,
well in
you're
the cold.
lucky. It's not the cold's not bad, but yeah, we're in a winter storm. I called off work. I ain't driving in that snow.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I look at it this way: if it ain't the '79 blizzard when I was 8 years old, and my whole state was almost like nation disaster, and we had snow higher than a
Right.
school bus. Yeah,
Right. I'm glad I grew up in the South, man, because I can't do it. I'm not a cold
hey,
guy.
one thing
I
about
hate-
us living in the Midwest. One thing about living in the Midwest, we're chameleons. We're used to cold, winter, spring, winter.
Yeah, y'all get all the seasons up over there. You know?
Yeah. So it's going to be kind of you got see what happens if we have a spring game this year. That's the problem. Is it's just I don't know. It just you don't know what's going on. You can't. I'm just not really hyped up. You don't know until you see what's to see.
There's
Don't
no
know until
reason why.
spring game.
There's no reason why there shouldn't be a spring game this year. I mean, if FSU and all these teams were allowed to play a season, I don't understand why you wouldn't have a spring this year. They canceled the spring last year because I think they just kind of panicked because the pandemic was a new thing. I think after playing the entire football season, there's no reason why you won't allow these kids to be and have a spring game and all that good stuff. So I think you're going to see more normal by the time football starts next year. I think you're going to see more of a normal thing. But I could be wrong on that. I just think, I don't know, a whole nother year of it. I think people are just not going to be as panicky as they were this year.
Well, right now, a lot of these bowl games, these sponsors, they're losing money not sponsoring this year. So it's going to be hard for these corporations that sponsor bowl games. Are they going to sponsor next year? I mean, I imagine they're lost money.
Right.
And just like my state this year, we have no high school football this year, but Wisconsin did, Iowa did, and Indiana did. This year they canceled high school basketball this year because of the pandemic. So yeah, it's really sad to see a senior kid not be able to play any sports this year, especially if it's their senior season. So yeah, it's pretty devastating up here. So who knows?
I agree, man. I think they gotta let these kids play some football, man. That's just me, though.
Well, that just shows you how stupid my state is. I mean, heck, people in Iowa, they got all they got to do is wear a mask. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, kids aren't getting sick on the football field. They're getting sick, or people are getting sick. Ooh, hell of a catch right there. But they're getting sick before, doing other things. That's all I'm trying to say. But that's just me.
Oh yeah,
that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah. So basically, like I said, I can see Melton be our starting quarterback next year.
Oh, he's got to be.
But I'm also concerned, will Rodemaker or Chubby hit the transfer portal?
I don't think either of them will. I don't see the point of either of them. Here's the thing about that. Usually now we are in a different age when it comes to this transfer portal, and kids do things a little differently. But normally you hit the transfer portal because you're not giving an opportunity. Both of those guys were given an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You just weren't good enough to play year one. One guy was hurt, So my thing is, why not? Why would you transfer out of a situation where you can learn from Mackenzie Milton?
That's true too.
That's just me. That's just my thought process on it. Mike Norvell claims he's had a talk with the quarterback room and everybody's on board with it. So,
I like I said, I think Norvell is a great coach. I mean, what he done from it. Right now, they need to get rid of Fuller. Fuller is just not is just up to speed to the ACC. I
The
don't know. There's pros and cons. Florida State didn't have the players he needed to run that
there's no
defense,
pros. There's no
or he
pros
did.
with Adam Fuller. Listen, I
Yeah,
don't listen. There's no pros to me with Adam. Look, the jury's still out on Norvell. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you Norvell's a terrible coach, but I'm also not gonna sit here and tell you he's a great coach. There's some things he does that I like. There's some things he does that I do not like. There's nothing Adam Fuller does that
no,
I like. You can't tell me
no,
you can't tell me Adam Fuller needed his guys. We have a guy called Amari Gaynor who could probably play for any defense in the nation. The most talented defensive player.
I agree.
You couldn't find a way to use him. That's not about players. That's
No,
about you just not knowing what you're doing.
exactly.
Amari Gaynor is seamless. He can play in any defense in the country. So it's not like FSU's defense is throwing chopped liver out there. FSU's defense has talent that he could know how to utilize, and he doesn't know how to utilize it.
No,
I agree
Gaynor
with
should
that.
have played the Fox. Gaynor should have played the Fox, and they should have had Robinson and Kano switch off. That's what they should have done. I don't know. It just, I don't know. Like I said, Fuller needs to go. I don't. They need to change, but are they going to sport up, save money to get a new defensive coordinator? I know Freddie Stevenson is making waves with the boosters and putting some money in there. So Freddie
There's a
Stevenson is.
lot of That's actually been a big movement of people signing up to FSU boosters, which is a good thing to see. But I also want to. I want to get this. I don't like this narrative that FSU doesn't have money. Florida State's got money. This notion that FSU doesn't
Yeah,
have money is ridiculous. It's all about whether they want to spend the money. Remember, they had $20 million when they wanted to fire Willie Taggart. They have money when they want to spend it. The question is, when are they going to commit to being big boy football again? Maybe that'll come with the new AD and a new president. But look, shout out to LSU because they fired their defensive coordinator after year one. They said, hold up, this doesn't look like the LSU that we are supposed to look like. They got rid of Bo Pelini, and Bo Pelini had only been there a year. I don't know why we can't do the same thing with Adam Fuller, but for whatever reason, they don't want to do it. They can fire Adam Fuller right now and have money to hire another guy if they want to. They just are cheap.
it's all
one
politics.
That too. So don't, this notion that Florida State ain't got no money is really ridiculous. They don't have, all that tuition money. Where do you think it's going? They have money. Whether or not they choose and how they choose to spend it is going to be the question going forward.
I just have this weird gut feeling. I know we didn't hire prime time. I know prime time's going to, but I also had this feeling like if Fuller, let's say Norvell does, I wish Norvell best of luck. I'm trying to be supportive, but what if he doesn't pan out? I have a feeling that Deion will be our head coach down the road if things don't work out. I think
if Deion is successful, because Mike Norvell is going to be given, I believe Mike Norvell will be given all 3 or 4 years of his contract, however many years he has. From a recruiting standpoint alone, you already see the waves that Deion is making. It's going to be very interesting to see what he does at Jackson State. It's going to be very interesting. I still think he needs a D1 type of job before FSU makes that move. But I definitely think Deion is setting himself up to be potentially the future coach of the Seminoles or a future D1 coach for sure.
Well, like I said, he's got his boy the quarterback, so that's a plus because him and his boy have great chemistry. So we know that. So he's got his quarterback, which he coached his son through high school.
Yeah.
So there's chemistry right there. That's one thing about like Florida State. There's no chemistry. There's no leadership. It's like everybody just too scared to step up. and that's what we've been lacking the last 3 years. And it's kind of weird. Like the 2018 class, we were 10th in the nation, and half those people are not on the team anymore. Ain't that a shock?
It's an indictment of and I don't want to really bring them up, but it's an indictment of Taggart's class in that class. It just is what it is. I mean, it's an indictment of his recruiting. The guy that everybody said was a great recruiter. None of those kids he brought in panned out. Not one of them.
No.
And that it's an indictment, you know.
Except for Cooper.
And Coop was that was a Jimbo guy anyway. But yeah, that class is a. As a matter of fact, let's go look at that class.
It's been interesting to hear
that Taggart class, man, it's really that first class was really bad class. I mean,
and it was ranked number 11 in the nation that year.
Just feel like they can win when these
all right, sir. So the good news is Jermaine Johnson, defensive end from Georgia. We got him transferred in. And the good news is also that Miami's losing right now, but the momentum is kind of swung in their favor. Oklahoma State is really not that good of a football team.
No.
Or at least they're really choking this thing away. We'll see what Miami does down to Keyshawn Helton. That's that good point there. Keyshawn Helton is probably the best player from that class. Yeah. As far as just being reliable, he's nothing special, but he's reliable and all that stuff. And he's outplayed his rankings for sure. But I mean, Malcolm
not
Lamar,
mention Cam
Warren
McDonald,
Thompson.
but
Cam McDonald too. Cam McDonald.
But the problem is they're using him more in the blocking because the offensive line's that weak, so they ain't using his receiving talent, which he can make some catches.
Yeah, I forgot about Cam, but Cam.
But whoever it is, like Lamar Miller's not on the team.
Malcolm
Deshaun
Lamar's
Harrison.
Trayshawn
Deshaun
Harrison.
Harrison. Yeah.
Like none of those guys stayed.
Brandon Bolden.
Yeah, all of those guys transferred out. None of them. And not only did they transfer out, even during their time at Florida State, they literally contributed zero.
Yeah. Now Thompson is hitting the portal.
Which I expected anyway.
Oh, yeah. What's he going to go to the Canes now?
Right, I don't know where Warren Thompson. He might go play for Willie Taggart. Well, no, I take that back. He doesn't like Willie Taggart. I don't know where he's going to go. I don't know where he's going to go. It's a good point.
Because Thompson was supposed to go to Oregon when Taggart was still at Oregon, but then when he got the job there, he decommitted from Oregon and went to Florida State.
Right. Now, Warren Thompson, he grew up a Florida State fan.
Right.
But he was going to go all the way to Oregon because he wanted to play for Willie Taggart. So when Willie Taggart took the Florida State job, that was a very good thing for Warren. The problem is Warren Thompson later on would go on to throw Willie Taggart under the bus, call him a liar. The same thing he did with Mike Norvell, he did with Willie Taggart. Warren Thompson's got into it with every head coach he's ever had here. So, yeah, I would say FAU, but he's not going to go there because him and Willie Taggart don't have a great relationship anymore. So I have no idea where Warren Thompson ends up. Warren Thompson goes to he might go to Jackson State and play for Deion. That wouldn't even shock me, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, Akeem Dent was on that team. Was he too?
On the roster. But I think Akeem Dent was the year before, I think.
Yeah, it was the year after. Yeah, but, like Willie whiffed on a quarterback, not communicating with Howe, not getting this stuff.
He didn't recruit any.
Yeah.
What's up, Duval Noel? Panama says Kendo needed to come back. Emmett Rice. I think Rice does need to come back. I agree with you, Panama. Kendo needed to come back. I still don't understand why he went pro, but I wish him the best. I really do. We need more of the abusement park on the field. What you talking about, man? These refs to me are ruining this game.
Like I said, I think the first signing we have some pass rushers, but are they going to pan out? That's the biggest question.
Are you talking about this year or
This year's recruits they got the first signing period.
so this year? Yeah, I like some of the guys we got. Jordan Young. Jordan Young, there's some speculation on whether he ends up on this roster next year too. There's another wide receiver, that came with Willie Taggart.
I don't know. It just seemed like Norvell. It's just like Norvell's play call. They didn't use any post routes or nothing. They were just. I think Dillingham just called a game where he made it suitable to Jordan Travis, would not have say he can't throw. I think Jordan Travis can throw the ball and not give him the chances, but you can't trust the wide receivers.
Here's what we're gonna see.
Who knows?
We're gonna see next year with McKenzie Milton. We're gonna see how much they open up this playbook next year, because I have to believe they're really gonna open the playbook up next year.
Well, I believe so too.
So we're gonna see.
Right now, we need another key receiver to go with McLean. We need another receiver and another defensive end or tackle. I can't believe that Vicka not going after Vicka. I mean, hell, put Vicka in there. Those Samoans are tough, and they're not.
He committed to Colorado.
Yeah, why did he want to go to Colorado?
Don't ask me, but that's where he's going. Yeah, Victory Vaca, he decided to commit to Colorado.
Yeah. And then that one offensive guard decided to go to LSU. It's like,
it's going to be interesting.
What are we going to do now?
From what I'm hearing, FSU hasn't even given him a committable offer yet. Like, they're not even offering him a scholarship right now. It would really blow my mind if he was to decommit from Florida State to just walk on to the LSU, but from what I'm hearing right now, LSU hasn't even given him a scholarship yet.
And then that Keon Coleman, he went from a 4-star to a 3-star now.
Yeah, he fell in the rankings, but I think as long as FSU gets Destin Hill, which all signs are pointing to that, and as long as they land at least one transfer guy, I don't think they're going to worry about another receiver. So right now, the transfer guy is Parchment. That's supposed to be the guy that comes from Kansas in the transfer portal. And Dustin Hill is still penciled in as a Florida State commit. So
what really shocked me this year, I think what shocked me this year that Florida State had 2 talents in their own backyard and they couldn't recruit them.
They had more than 2. But I know what you mean, and that was my one big criticism of Mike Norvell. I don't know how you miss on Terry Arnold and Amari Harvey and Corey Collier. So yeah, those
guys.
One of the 3 should have been a Seminole.
Yeah, I think they're going to go either Florida or Alabama or one of the 2 or Miami. It's like you got talent in your own backyard and you whiffed on that. That can hurt us. I can see that could hurt us.
Absolutely, Tyler makes a good point. Norvell really pushed out the I remember Chad Moscow was one of the big time QB recruits at one point, but he has fell dramatically. And FSU was offering a lot of 2022 quarterbacks. They threw out like just 5 scholarships over the weekend, all of them to really top notch guys. I mean, I think Nico is still considered the favorite just because of the relationship. But they could literally land some other guys here too, and I think Nico is damn good. But some of these other kids, I'm watching some of these other kids, and they're just as good, maybe not, if not better. So Mike Norvell is going all in on quarterback next year, and he needs to. Quite frankly, he needs to. So
yeah. Well, I just hope that cornerback from that quarterback, their number 1 cornerback, I hope he stays with Florida State and not going to Georgia or Alabama. I can't
Who is
remember
that?
his name.
Talking about Travis
Oh,
Hunter?
he's that. Yes.
Everything I've heard about Travis Hunter is that this is his dream school, and he's got a great relationship with Mike Woodson. As long as Woodson's on this staff, he's not going anywhere from what I've heard.
And I'm surprised we ain't going after Marvin Jones Jr.
Oh, we are. They did a recent interview with Marvin Jones Jr. He said FSU holds a special place for him, obviously, because his dad is a legend here. They are all in on Marvin Jones Jr. That's another guy we need. The 2022 class has a chance to be special. It has a chance to really change the trajectory of this program, but you have to win, in my opinion. If FSU can win 7 to 8 games next year, I think we'll be fine. If you win any more than 7 or 8, watch out. You're talking about something really serious. You can't put together another thing like you did this year. I'm not too worried about it for next year because I don't think you bring in Mackenzie Milton to win 5 or 6 games. Mackenzie Milton, I think, can get you 7, 8. But we gotta see how we got to see how this class closes this year, especially the transfer portal guys, because the transfer portal guys, they're going to be the guys that are going to be the instant impact guys. And they're going to be the guys that are going to define how much help Mackenzie Milton's really going to have starting the season off next year.
You know what? If I was Norvell, there's where common sense plays a factor. If I was Norvell, I would go out, even though you're not a fan of Adam Fuller. If I'm a defense coordinator like Adam Fuller, even though I'm the hot seat, or maybe I'm going to get fired, if I want to save my job, I would get that talented linebacker from USC and put Mary Gaynor and Hicks in the outside linebacker. There's your 3 solid linebackers. That kid from USC is a beast. And if I'm going to save my job, even though I'm in the hot seat, I need to keep my job, even though I'm not the best coach in the world. But if I'm going to do that, I better get somebody that's going to make me feel like a genius.
The problem with Adam Fuller is, not only do I not think he's necessarily a good defensive coordinator, I'm not too sure he's a good recruiter either. So that's Adam Fuller to me doesn't check any boxes to be at Florida State. It'd be one thing to say, well, he's not that good of an X's and O's coach, but he can recruit. He can't even recruit.
No.
And Oklahoma State just scored. Tyler says Hunter, by all accounts, is a no. He needs to be a wide receiver IMO, but he will be great at DP2. From all accounts, same thing I've heard, Tyler. He's a Seminole, and I think he's so talented. To me, he's the best. I think when it's all said and done, he'll probably end up the best high school player in the nation. Put him anywhere on the field, he'll be fine. Hunter is legit. Yes, he is. How tough is our schedule next year? I mean, we open with Notre Dame. We have UNC on the schedule. Probably as tough as it was this year is how tough it is next year. Panama Jack says, I like David Johnson. I think he's a good running back coach. And our inside track, as much as I hate the fact that FSU does not have the Florida ties right now, Mike Norvell has to pick up those Florida connections, especially those South Florida connections. I love the fact that we have a foothold in Louisiana. David Johnson is by far the best recruiter we got on the roster and on the staff right now.
I kind of agree. Him and the offensive line coach is the second best recruiter.
Yeah, and Atkins would probably be your second best recruiter. Absolutely. Norvell's not in the hot seat. No, Norvell's not in the hot seat yet. We host Notre Dame. Yep, they picking on couch. Notre Dame loses a ton of players in the draft. That's my thing too, Green Bay. Notre Dame loses a lot of guys. You got a chance to come out game 1 with Mackenzie Milton, with possibly, I expect that offensive line to be a year better under Coach Atkins. Coach Atkins has already shown me that he can get the job done. So I expect the offensive line to be pretty solid. Offensively, honestly, the offensive side of the ball does not worry me next year because I think Mackenzie Milton's going to open up that entire playbook. We're going to see what Norvell really wants to run. It's the defense. It's the defense for me. I have no faith that Adam Fuller is going to get the job done. And because I have no faith that Adam Fuller can get the job done, I wouldn't be surprised if we averaged 35 plus points, but gave up 46 or 40 points a game. I wouldn't be surprised about that because that's all Adam Fuller has shown me so far.
Yeah, it's just. I think it's time to let him go. I bet you. I kind of agree with you. I think if Fuller was gone, I think we get better recruits right now on defense. If we get a Charlie Strong or maybe a Dan Quinn, yeah, I could just see we get better talent right now.
So what'd you say?
It's the wrong person. It's a guy named Carl. But he's very excited and on his way.
Word of mouth advertising. It's what they did.
Just a thought. How about Lovey Smith? Man, I would take. Give me a monkey with a clipboard over Adam Fuller. I'll take anything over Adam Fuller right now.
Hey, I like Lovey Smith's defense. I mean, come on, he won a Super Bowl at Tampa Bay. He was one of the guys that helped.
I hear you.
I hear you.
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that. Anything's I kind of my problem with Lovey Smith would be maybe his age, and I think at a certain point, some of these guys, but we have a good mix of youth on the staff. So, but none of these kids watch Lovey Smith coach Tampa Bay's defense back in the days. The point I'm kind of getting at. But with that said, I would take Lovey Smith over Adam Fuller. Didn't Lovey Smith get 70 on his head, or was he not the DC? If you're talking about at Illinois, he was the head coach at Illinois, but I mean, it's Illinois. Give me Mia Khalifa as DC. I agree. I'll take anything right now over Adam Fuller. A team can never have too many linemen. Absolutely right. You're absolutely right there. A monkey with a clipboard. Man, I'm just being real, Irv. Give me anything right now with Adam Fuller. I've seen all I need to see, man.
Well, the key to win football games is like who can dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball wins the games. Both sides.
I've seen enough from Adam Fuller. I don't need Adam Fuller on here no more. That's just me though. I've seen all I need to see. That Notre Dame game is home game to start the next season. That's even better for us. Chris Clayton says no top-notch D coordinators coming to FSU right now. If you move on from Fuller, you have to find an up-and-coming coach like Jeremy Pruitt. I don't know why a top-notch guy wouldn't come, but the only way I could see Fuller getting fired if Lanning becomes available, maybe. Fuller wasn't Norvell's first choice. He reached out. I know he wanted Lanning first. I know that. He could have had a better second option, though. That's just me. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see what Adam Fuller does year 2. Because everybody that's made an excuse for Adam Fuller has all said, well, these aren't his guys. Okay, well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see next year when you have more of your guys. How Amari Gaynor isn't one of your type of guys when he can literally play in any defense in the country, I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what Adam Fuller does.
Well, they need to learn how to tackle better, that's for sure. I never seen them miss. I bet you they average 20 missed tackles a game.
The notion that we can't fire Fuller because we can't afford it. I agree. That's a first of all, the narrative is wrong. It is wrong. If you don't think FSU can afford to hire who they wanted to hire, you're ridiculous. What do you think? We just have a bunch of boosters throwing around pennies? That's not the problem. You got to ask them where they're willing to put their money at. Okay, but they have the money. Now, whether they want to spend it or not, come on. If FSU wanted to get if FSU wanted to go out there and hire Charlie Strong and put the money up to do it, they could. They got to stop being cheap. You can make that assumption. But FSU can go out there and hire who they want. They can get a top-notch guy if they wanted to. And you can't tell me that there's not a defensive coordinator in the country that doesn't want to recruit at a Tallahassee. I just with that logo behind them. Like I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. What happened to Rushing? He went with Jimbo. If you're talking about TJ Rushing, he went over there with Jimbo. I hope the buddy system doesn't hurt Novell. I hope that's not what it is. I really do. I really hope that's not what it is. I hope it's not because Adam Fuller's his buddy. If that's the case, he's gonna ruin himself. Kusami, yeah, man, you super late, like 2 hours and 30 minutes late. Black people always got to be late to stuff. That's what I'm talking about.
Because they got to make their grand entry. Well, that's all I got to say. I'll talk to you next time, okay?
All right, Todd, man, thanks for coming on here.
Anytime. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, Miami almost scored. Not Miami almost scored.
You see Trey Sterling come flying up in there, but it's really to draw the secondary players in. They hit Mallory on the little pop pass.
First and goal. That play went for 45. Oklahoma State.
Wait, what's going on with James Cook? Absolutely nothing, Jalen. It's just a rumor, but I felt the need to address it. But nothing is going on. Nothing's going on with James Cook. Well, nothing's going on with Adam Fuller either. But right, nothing's going on with James Cook until his name's hit the transfer portal. But it is a big time rumor out there that FSU is in contact with James Cook. But again, I'll believe it when I see it. No, he's not. Not his guys. His scheme sucks. Absolutely. Peace, Todd. Good to hear. Yeah, absolutely good to hear from Todd. I hope he's okay in that weather up there because that weather sucks. I'm so glad I'm in Hawaii and I have to deal with that snow and stuff. But absolutely always good to hear from Todd. I'm assuming we already touched on Jermaine Johnson. Kusami, you 2 hours and 30 minutes late. Yeah, man. We done touched on all of that. We done touched on all of that. How does that happen? Lashley made up for that dumb play call before. 38. Yeah. Good point, Tyler. Thanks for keeping us updated on the basketball game. I be forgetting. But the second half has started on the basketball game. 38-37. FSU's up on Clemson. You're on a roll, Pope, with nothing going on with Fuller. Am I lying? And Parchment. Parchment originally was reported Parchment was going to make his decision before the new year. Now there's some rumblings that he's going to wait, get his degree, and then make his announcement where he's going to transfer to around, I guess it would be May or March time frame, somewhere around there after he gets his I think he wants to get his degree first and then transfer out. So that's what's going on right there. Ready for Andrew Parchment to commit. But all signs are pointing to Florida State right there. Andrew Parchment, all signs are pointing to Florida State. It's just a question of when will he commit. Is he going to commit at the end of this week, or is he going to commit later on? Not trying to sound like a casual. Who's Jermaine Johnson? That's the defensive end from Georgia. Number one JUCO player in the country in 2019. Really a big time player, in my opinion. Really big get. He is the guy we just got in the transfer portal. He's transferring from Georgia, where he had 5 sacks this last season. I think he had 5, right? He had 5 sacks. I'm just off the top of my head. I think he had 5 sacks last season, a bunch of hurries. He's a good get, man. He definitely adds to depth. I don't know if he's a superstar. But with that said, I don't know if any defensive end in this scheme can ever be a superstar because I'm trying not to go on Irv. I'm trying not to go on Adam Fuller every chance I get. But he's a good player. It remains to be seen how he's used. But Jermaine Johnson is a good player out of Georgia. Listen Up Podcast in the building. Shout out to Listen Up Podcast. If you guys don't go listen to those guys, I like those 2 guys, man. They're they're good. It's a good listen. Good listen. He said Parchment is definitely coming. Okay, yeah. Everything I've heard is the same, that Parchment's coming. It's just been about when is he coming. I think it was originally said he was going to commit or announce his decision before the new year. Now I'm hearing he might get his degree first. So I don't know. We'll see there. Marcus Lewis says, what about Muschamp? Bro, I told you. I'll take anything over Adam Fuller right now. But yes, Muschamp would be a massive upgrade a huge upgrade over Adam Fuller. He was on, Jermaine Johnson was on Last Chance U. Absolutely right. Few good. Miami just scored 31-25. Miami just scored. For a few more good transfers, we definitely be more competitive. Huge time player, LOL. When I see he committed, I was blown away. He had more sacks. He had more sacks, I think, than our entire defensive line combined. So, shout out to Jermaine Johnson. Beautiful pass. Who's your favorite of the recently offered QBs? I really got to go and look at all of them, Tyler. Nico's been my favorite for the longest, but out of the recently offered ones, I got to go watch all of them. And I haven't done that. But I'm hearing a lot of good things about some of them. I'm still heated about J-Rob and Kane-Do. J-Rob, I'm not too mad about. I don't know if J-Rob was really – I mean, I guess if you want to be selfish from a depth standpoint, yeah. Kane-Do to me needed to stay. I don't think he's put anything on film, and I still think there may be another extra level that Kane-Do could potentially get to because he's been so riddled with injuries. J-Rob, I think he should have went pro because the issue I have with J-Rob is I don't think he's getting any better. He probably has maxed out his talent. And because of that, it makes sense to me for him to go to the league. Kusami says Jermaine Johnson had 5 sacks per 96 pass rushes. UGA defensive ends combined had 4 sacks per 650 actual stat. There you go. So looked like he was the best pass rusher on the team. Touchdown Miami, yeah. Is Adam Fuller on the hot seat? No. If he was on the hot seat, there should be no hot seat for Adam Fuller. Adam Fuller should have been on the hot seat after Jacksonville State. Period. The hot seat, we're past the hot seat. You're either going to fire the guy or not. There's no hot seat for Adam Fuller. Champ would be a million times better. Any other receivers? And transfer portal? No, not that I'm hearing. Obviously, recruiting-wise, we're still waiting on to see if we can land Destin Hill. But I haven't heard anything on any other receivers. Any chance you get you going at Fuller, or any chance to get me going at Fuller? Kid named Cade out of Texas and Travis Hunter's teammate are my two favorites. Kane-Do put one full season together. What exactly is he? That was my thing too. Green Bay. To me, Kane-Do, you put one full season of being healthy together, and you weren't really that productive. So why not stay a year and try to improve on that? I don't think either of our defensive ends get drafted. At least with Kane-Do, I think he's more of a better athlete than J-Rob, possibly. Maybe he can go to the combine and do something. But I don't really see either guy getting drafted off of whatever film they're going to be putting out there. I just don't see it. I need a haircut. I've been heard that the running back from LSU, Chris Curry, might be really coming to FSU. Man, there's a new running back rumor every freaking week when it comes to Florida State. But at least Curry is actually in the portal. So at least that's these other guys, James Cook and Trey Sanders, not even in the portal. Want get Hill. You don't saying you want to get Hill or we won't get Hill. I'm hoping we get Hill. Do you see McClendon being a starter at DN next year? McClendon's going to be in the he's going to be in the rotation. I actually watched a little bit, watching McClendon this year, going back and watching him. Was he awesome? No. I thought he improved the more snaps he got. So it's all about seeing that continued growth with McClendon. That's what I like. I don't know if he turns into a starter, but he can definitely become a rotation piece. LSU fired their DC after one season. No, I agree. They got rid of Bo Pelini. I don't know why we can't. I think that starts with the admin though. But we'll see. Kendo definitely got some bad advice. I think so. But shout out to Kendo. Let's hope he goes or does. Let's hope he does good things in the NFL. This running back from OK State runs like Corbin, same number and everything. Him alongside Jermaine Johnson could have been nasty on obvious pass rushing situations. Oklahoma State is touchdown Oklahoma State. Miami just can't win for losing. If Bo Pelini can get fired after one season, okay, read that one. Listen up. They don't think Hill's coming. Hill is coming, Samuel says, and no, he'll probably LSU or Florida. We'll see. I got some confidence in getting Hill. With LSU, I think if he wanted to be in LSU, he would be in LSU right now. I think Mackenzie Milton. I think that is it's a reason to be optimistic. It's a reason to be optimistic. So we'll see what happens. I think the field goal just got blocked. But I am until I see differently or hear differently, I think Hill's going to come. We need him. I texted Ron Dugans on Twitter and Instagram, and he didn't respond. What was he going to respond to, Jalen? Seriously. First of all, what did you message Ron Dugans, and why would he respond to you to begin with? Kendo and J-Rob gone. Who do you see starting? Well, Jermaine Johnson's going to come in. He's going to be a starter. Will FSU be able to get another transfer guy is the question. That remains to be seen. Assuming you don't get another transfer guy, I really don't know who you would see at the other defensive end position. Trying to think about what we got on the roster now.
Send us a pic of your docs, and a tax pro will do the work. Or
maybe you move Briggs over there.
no matter how you choose to file, walk past your back.
Or you Josh Griffiths, McClendon, one of those guys. But have we seen enough of those guys to say they move into a starting spot? If you don't get another transfer guy, that's defensive end has been a weakness on this team ever since Brian Burns left. You don't get another guy. I mean, I don't know if there's a guy on the roster that I can just pencil in. You're gonna have to see who emerges. Sad N'Kosi Perry is trying, but Blake Baker can't get it together for them Canes. Dennis, I don't think the comeback's happening, bro. But good luck on that. The Oklahoma State just scored again. Still need linebackers. For whatever reason, I feel like they're done at linebacker. I agree with you. We need to upgrade that position too, but I think it seems to be that they're done at that position, but we'll see. Need some speed off the edge. We have some speed. The problem is that the speed we have off the edge is going to be super young. It's going to be super young going into next year. I would prefer to use those guys as in situational type, like third and long. Throw in Patrick Payton, throw in George Wilson. Let them just pin their ears back, rush the passer, right? So we got some speed. They're not four down, 3 down type linemen yet. That's my worry, right? You've recruited the position well, I think. The problem is how many of those guys are day one guys? I don't think you got a day one guy at that position yet. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Really wouldn't mind if we picked up a kicker in the portal. I hope they don't waste a scholarship on a kicker, but I understand what you're saying. That kicker position did not look good this year. Ron Dugans should have never been the Miami wide receiver coach because Kevin Beard is well respected before him. I mean, Dugans recruited well for y'all. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dennis. Let's see what Coach Storms can do with an offseason. I don't have any worry about Coach Storms. I just have a worry about the defense still. Great show. Keep up the good work. Hey, appreciate the support. Again, that's a Listen Up podcast. If you guys are FSU fans, go check those guys out, man. I listen to them. They're a good listen. So, and we're at the end of the day, I've been trying to spearhead growing this YouTube community. You know, I'm not the biggest channel in the world, but I got 700 plus, and we're still growing, man. We're growing every week. So go listen up to go tune into those guys. If you like Florida State content, go check those guys out. Polkett said that you want my Canes to lose. Dennis, shut up. Of course, he apparently like he was running in slow motion right there. Hey, but it worked. Dix will come around. Every other than Miami fans want Miami to lose, right? So this year is the only year you can get an extra year. This year didn't count. So they pretty much gave everybody a mulligan this year. Everybody wants the Hurricanes to lose. Everybody. How many Polk County girls want a real Dade County boy? I don't know, man. Go up there and see. Be careful with them Polk County girls, man. Meth is a real thing over there in Polk County, bro. Be careful with them Polk County girls. Just saying. Mackenzie Milton gonna elevate everyone's play. I think I kind of agree there. I think on offense, as long as you can block for him, I think he will elevate that receiving group. I really do. Gotta block for him though. Gotta block for him. I agree. I have no problem with Dix. The problem I have with our linebackers, though, even though I think they're young and they're promising, they can't cover. They can't cover in space. They can't move in space. They're really just downhill type players. They are terrible in coverage. If I'm any offense, I attack the middle of that FSU defense because those linebackers are not good in coverage. Sir 5, you at the top of the list, sir. Dennis was twerking when he heard De'Aaron King was staying. Well, ain't no twerking no more because De'Aaron King may not even start year one next year. I mean, I pray the best for him, obviously. You don't like to see a kid get hurt. Let's check on this basketball game. Figure I'll stay on here for the duration of this game. Let's check on this basketball game real quick. See if Miami can pull this off. I don't think they can, though. 52-54. FSU is down to Clemson right now. Clemson's got a good team, though. Clemson's only 6-1. Clemson's got a good team, bro. If you look at Miami, all they did was put a good QB in their program, and they went from 6-7 to 8-2. A QB will make or break you. Polk County girls love us Dade boys. They probably do. They probably do. They probably do. I got me a South Florida woman myself. See, I had to go outside of Polk County. I went to South Florida. Went over there to the Palm Beach and got me one. You know. Just saying. Milton, the game changer. What a horrible spot. They could have at least put us versus UAB in the Gasparilla Bowl. Frank, how you doing? That OC at Miami should get more credit than he do. Perry's looked pretty good since his time being in the game. I won't lie about that, Sniper. You think that's the OC or you think that's just Perry? It's going to be interesting. Let's check on this Knicks game because y'all know I got to keep keep up with my New York Knickerbockers. The Knicks are beating the Cavaliers, the undefeated Cavaliers at that, 71-64. So shout out to the Knicks. Julius Randle's got 23. Shout out to New York, man. RJ Barrett's having a bad game. He's 2 of 10. But the Knicks are up 71-64. King's college career might be over if it's torn ACL. Prayers for a full. I think Maiden Dade said he was hearing a MCL. Sugarcane fans on Twitter talking smack about beating a low-grade FSU team, but can't. That's what I said. I said these guys, they get excited because no matter what, serve FSU's still Miami Super Bowl. They're always going to be Miami Super Bowl, right? What they do is they're going to talk about how they were able to beat the worst Florida State team in 30, 40 years. But every team with a pulse they've played, you feel me? They got nothing to say. So show me when you beat an FSU team that actually is doing something. I know Dennis might have something to say about that. Please stop. I hate that song. 90% OC. Julius Randle's on fire. 54-52 Clemson. And nope, I don't see us in the bowl. No, not after that suffer. The team had to go through. I wouldn't have minded a bowl just for some more practices personally. Then again, not seeing us lose in a bowl game, I think, is a plus too.
With 27 all-wheel drive models, you no longer need to escape the winter. Lexus all-wheel drive, crafted for confidence.
A little bit of news here. Take from you will of it. Nigel Brannon, former Memphis player. What position does he play? I don't know what position he plays. What position does Nigel Brannon play? Let me look him up.
On the last first down.
But he's a former, has just entered the transfer portal. I'm gonna see what position he plays first. Defensive line at Memphis. Oh, that's a good catch. He's a defensive tack. 6'5", 333. Jesus. Interesting right there.
So they will review this. If that holds up, it's a 25-yard strike by Perry.
I think my thing with Miami. That's a catch, right? That's a catch. Looks like a catch to me. Maybe it's just me. If y'all watch the movie Soul on Disney, they made fun of the Knicks. They always make fun of the Knicks, so that's expected. Hey, 50 people in here. If you haven't already, hit the like button. A bowl game would have given us like one more week of practice, which, again, I think more practice is the better. But then again, don't want to see us lose any more than we need to. I heard Soul was a good movie. Hope Miami lose. They don't deserve to be in my city. I think we got extremely lucky with Milton. He could be a program changer. I don't disagree there. Mackenzie Milton could have went to somewhere where he could have tried to get a national championship in his last year. And he chose Florida State. You feel me? And Florida State's nowhere near that level. So
No quit in the Hurricanes. Carry on this drive, 3 for 3, 42 yards. There's Donald Chaney.
37-26, Miami losing to Oklahoma State. But I think N'Kosi Perry has played very admirably. And I would argue he's actually opened up the offense. He's not the runner, obviously, but to me, it seems like he's opened up the offense with his arm. That's just my opinion there.
So The snaps have been very tough, but here comes the rush.
Good run there.
Toward the 5-yard line and dragged down Jamie. Bonfamigo with the stop. But first and
The Dolan guy from the Knicks needs to sell his team. Yeah, he does. Dolan needs to sell the Knicks. He's been needing to sell the Knicks. Miami just scored. And this is more about the shootout that I thought we were going to have. So, 5 minutes left. If Miami gets a stop here, they're in the game. Miami gets a stop here, they're in the game. They're going to go for 2 to try to get down 3. You get a stop here, you got a chance to win this game. They let Oklahoma State just go down the field. You know, it is what it is. Parchment's a beast. I think he's a good player. He could have went to LSU. They really don't have a QB. Could have went to Auburn or something like that. I agree there. Do you see FSU bring in any? Oh, they have to. Offensive line, probably another defensive end, a wide receiver. That's just 3. Running backs rumored. I don't necessarily see it. You could bring a potential D tackle. Yeah, FSU should be in the portal up until the first game of the season. Big guy. Is this guy a run stuffing space eater, or does he generate it? And at 6'5", 333 pounds, he's got to be just a space eater. Do you think Travis could transfer now that we have Milton? I don't think Travis is going to transfer. Double hit the like button, especially you Sugarcane fans. Undercover Noel fans, it's all good to come over. You heard what Serve said. Now we got to keep Jordan Travis. I don't think Travis is going anywhere. Where's this coming from? Travis ain't going nowhere, man. I expect Jordan Travis to be, if they're smart, Jordan Travis should still be an integral part of the offense. That was a good call. That was bad defense by Oklahoma State, but I expect that from a Big 12 team. Can't wait until we're good again. The amount of ish I'm going to talk might end up in me in jail. I think Travis will move to wide out. That's coming from Tony. Cleveland. 37-34. Oklahoma State is still up.
It looks like Kosi Perry's trying to roll out. Look at that. How that pulls the defense, and Will Mallory has released.
Let's check on the FSU game.
He was open in the end zone. The defense rallies to him, and then it's an excellent job. And look at the excitement on the sideline, even on crutches.
Knicks up 78-66 for those who care. I don't care if you don't care or not. And the Seminoles are down 59-54 to Clemson.
Anybody's game here in Orlando in the Cheez-It Bowl. Wesley has been such a bright star. And back for the kickoff by the Hurricanes.
Let's see if Miami can play some defense. Because to me, Oklahoma has not played a good game. They just have looked. Oklahoma's looked really average at best tonight. What did I tell you, though? The portal was going to be our best friend. Green Bay really does suck. I'm with you, bro. What would he do at wideout? He's not Braxton Miller. DB from Florida recently hit the portal. All right. Let's see what we got going on. Let's see if Miami mans up and can get this stop.
I think Miami's decided to commit to stopping the run. Playing man coverage, I think if Oklahoma State's going to get it done.
They're going to try to run some clock. As long as Miami don't give up too many first downs. Miami has, 2 timeouts left? Miami doesn't give up too many first downs. They should be all right.
Texas in the overtime loss, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. On second down, short
Wow.
pass, and it's
That ball hit Buddy right in the face. That was a bad pass.
Golden was there.
That was a bad pass.
Is it Miami's decided
I don't know what Sanders is doing right here.
across the formation to get soft coverage, but then they
Just
just drop
I don't know what that was. But 3rd and 9, Miami might be they might
and jumped it.
Miami might still win this game. Trash announced that he's going to do if he opts out Boy the Gator. I think Trash is going to the league. Why wouldn't he? Trash is going to leave way too much money on the field. Trash is going to leave way too much money. Trash is going to lose. Trash is going to be probably not the first quarterback pick, but he can compete for that second quarterback. I think the wideouts they bring in are going to play in their first year. Coach Norvell has to pack the seats, and our defense will be a lot better. If Milton's a starter, then you use Travis the same way the Saints use Hill. Travis has the moves like Peter Warwick. Slow down there. All that Perry gets from our delusional fans. These announcers are all Miami. Well, I mean, let's see what Miami does. I mean, Perry has played damn good for just coming in here and basically being thrust into this position and saying, win the game. I don't think Perry hasn't turned the ball over at all. I mean, hell, Perry might even bring him back for the dub right here. I mean, CJ's been talking about Perry all year, and here we are. And to me, the offense opened up. Remember, y'all were down 21-0 early. Perry opened up the offense, in my opinion, and I thought the defense actually started playing with a pulse. Oklahoma State, man, after being up 21-0, they really just started falling asleep, I guess. Hope, how do you feel about Nate Robinson wearing New York Knicks colors when he got knocked out? That's on Nate. That ain't got nothing to do with Knicks. I mean, he played most of his career with New York, so it makes sense.
Perry took a look at it. Now he's going to throw it deep and hang it up, but it's going to be incomplete. Mallory never really saw it.
Yeah, Mallory never located the ball there. Polk, how did you feel? Oh, read that one. Now, I never saw Ward play, but I know damn well that's not true. All you got to do is YouTube him, Sniper. Whether you saw him or not, just YouTube him. If you saw Reggie Bush play, you saw Peter Ward. Peter Ward was doing everything Reggie Bush was doing before Reggie Bush did it. Perry from City Vanguard Night. Sam Ellinger, last game at Texas, seems like he's been there forever. It does.
Both on the move. Gonna swing the pass incomplete up over the head.
JT is shifty, but he ain't no dub. He's no dub. He's no. Look, the guy's back there behind me for a reason, man. Oklahoma State. I must be behind you guys because it's still Miami's ball for me. Again, 50 people in here. Hit that like button. Said Perry had a fumble. I haven't seen the fumble, but I just saw that incomplete pass on 4th and 10. Let's check the scores of these other games. Florida State is losing to Clemson. The Knicks are beating Cleveland 80-73, and FSU is losing to Clemson 60-66. I need more out of Scotty Barnes, man. Scotty Barnes got 12. MJ Walker's got 9. Man, we got to get some offense going. Gray only has 2. We are missing a bunch of 3-pointers. 4 minutes left, 60-66. Clemson up on Florida State. See if FSU can pull that one out. And we'll see if Oklahoma State can hold on. Miami had an opportunity there, and they kind of let it go. But the only good thing about that Miami did not burn a lot of time on that drive. So you got a chance to get another shutout here. Get another 3 and out. Get the ball back again. So the good news is Miami did not burn a lot of time on that drive, and they still have 2 timeouts.
You have to account for the quarterback as a runner. Miami continues to play with a safety deep, and so the quarterback run game is very much in play until Miami decides to bring everybody to the party.
Well, Sniper, I don't know how true that is. I guess you're assuming that after McKenzie Milton leaves, Chubba Purdy's going to overtake Travis or whoever they recruit will be better than Travis day one. You know, that's definitely going to be the question. I don't know why Oklahoma State going so conservative, bro. It's like Oklahoma State is doing everything in their power to lose this game.
Please reset the game clock to 3 minutes, 24 seconds.
Miami with 1 timeout remaining. Time to get it back to the studio. Here's Matt Barry.
We love a former All-Big 12 bowl game. Colorado obviously in the Pac-12 now. They get set to take on Texas. If your game runs long, we will kick this game off on ESPN News. So if anybody is unhappy about that, hit up Tim Hasselbeck on Twitter. He'll answer all of your questions when that game kicks on ESPN News.
He always does, very bravely.
Yes, I mean,
Chubba will be the guy once Milton leaves. Travis has a lot of ability to move. I said has ability to make people miss. If Chubba is not the guy, he's probably a bust. Jordan Travis earned my respect as long as he's healthy. Sniper makes an interesting point there. I mean, in year 3 or 4, if Chubba still can't find the field, then yeah, he's probably a bust at that point. I don't disagree with that. And again, Oklahoma State's doing everything in their power to lose this game. You know, I guess shout out to Miami for not laying down. I'll say that much. But these basic play calls, like, come on, what right there? What is the quarterback even looking at? It was a decent throw. But what are you even looking at? Once again, offense didn't take barely a minute off the board, off the score, off the time. And Oklahoma State's just is there. It's like they're in not lose mode, not win mode. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to win the game. They're just trying not to lose the game at this point.
They were both warming up. Hunt's 30 years old. He's 26. Gets that one away. The fair catch here by Harley.
Have you heard anything about the QB at the Tar Heels? I think he is. Who? What QB at Tar Heels? Sam Howell? Why would Sam Howell transfer? And no, I haven't heard anything about Sam Howell leaving the Tar Heels. I don't know why he even would do that. Yeah, man, Jordan Travis might be the utility piece after next season. Chubba will be ready, and Norvell and Dillingham has offered 3 or 4 QBs in the class of 2022 over the weekend. Yep, talked about those quarterbacks he offered. He's definitely going into into the quarterback position next year with all his chips on the table. He's not gonna not sign another quarterback. I used to call hold on. Look, hello, okay, the prophets see the future. Tony Cleveland definitely see a comparison between Travis and Warwick. Travis might just be a tad better, in my opinion. Don't ever take what James Nelson says serious. I just want to be clear about that. James Nelson is talking out of his ass, and he does this all the time. So Tony Cleveland, he does not agree with you. He's trolling like he always does. Still can't take away from Jordan Travis did for the offense. If Oklahoma State had their running back Chuba Hubbard, they would have closed this game out. I used to call touchdown whenever they kicked or punted to Peter Warwick. 71-62 Clemson. FSU's going to end up losing that Clemson game, man. 3rd and 8 here. Let's see what Miami does. Bro, they haven't had an answer for Brevin Jordan all game. I don't know why they just don't target Brevin Jordan every play. Like, where the hell was 20 going right there? 20 just, what was that? Another drop from a Miami receiver. You Miami receivers are, I thought FSU's receivers were bad because these Oklahoma State corners are trash. These balls are hitting Miami guys. Look at this. This is in the chest. Wow. Wow. I thought our receivers were bad, guys. Miami might have the worst core receivers in the entire country. Holy cow. N'Kosi Perry is putting balls on. He's dropping dimes right now. Good tackle in open space by number 3. N'Kosi Perry is putting the ball on the money, and these Miami receivers, everybody but Brevin Jordan can't hold on to it. Look for them to target Brevin Jordan right here. If you're Oklahoma State, watch him give it up. Adam Fuller's probably coaching that Oklahoma State defense. Look where Brevin Jordan lined it up. Watch him. He's going to run a route. If I had to guess, he's going to run a out route to the sticks. Nope, ran a quick slant. I would have ran the out route. I would have did something towards the sideline right there.
It was pressure again on that 3rd down. And so this is the game of chess. You're wondering what you're getting. Are you getting that all-out pressure that you've seen at 2 of your last 3 3rd downs? Or are you getting some type of turn?
I've seen Chuba Purdy in person at his high school. The young man is incredibly talented. Our receivers sucked this year. Remains to be seen how Chuba translates to the college game. Oh, Miami's gonna lose. I don't like that play call. If you were gonna call, you should have called that. If you were gonna go for it on 4th, Lashley should have called that screen on the 3rd down, and then did something else on 4th down to get a more manageable 4th down. You know, I don't know why you would call that screen play right there. That's a bad call in my opinion. The backup QB from Tar Heels is a grad transfer that might be 2 or 3 years left. He was going to come to FSU under Jimbo, the Dumbo, but he went to the Tar Heels. Okay, I didn't know that. But at this point, we don't need to take another grad transfer quarterback. We got Mackenzie Milton. They need to focus on the quarterback cropping next year. We don't need a transfer guy, in my opinion, at the quarterback position. Travis earned every FSU fan respect, but that don't mean he was the answer. And you want to give him a trophy for winning 3 games at Florida State. Ball game 37-34. That's what it looks like. What has Chuba done? So I guess you guys are debating Chuba versus Jordan Travis. For me, I think we'll see. For me, Jordan Travis is, I would put Jordan Travis as over Purdy. Then again, they dialed down the offense so much for Purdy in his one lone start. I don't know. I'd be interested to see what he does. 3 hours long, man. I've been on here for 3 hours. Shout out to me.
Sanders was able to find a bunch of other guys, Brennan Presley in particular. We just had a big night on a big stage for Oklahoma State. So Cowboys have found yet another talented wide receiver. Sanders takes that knee. Presley with 3 touchdown grabs. I don't know, that first one really set the
Looks like it's also ball game. FSU, only 55 seconds left, and FSU is down 65-73 against Clemson. So that looks like a ball game. But it's always a good day when Miami loses. And let's see what the Knicks are doing. Knicks are up 10 against the undefeated Cavaliers. So the Knicks won, Miami lost, but our damn Seminoles lost. But, basketball's a long season. No one expected Florida State basketball to go undefeated. They'll be fine. Not too worried about the basketball team. Plus, Clemson's might be the second best team in the ACC. So that was a good, that's not a terrible loss. It's not a terrible loss there. Let's see what you guys are talking about before we head out. Chuba may have not looked so bad when he was I don't know what that. Chuba may have looked so bad when he was in that the receivers didn't drop. I agree, Jen. I agree. He's a freshman coming from a broken collarbone. This is JT's third year. 3 wins is impressive. No, 3 wins isn't impressive, but Jordan Travis was never given a fair shake at quarterback either. So you gotta always take that stuff for what it's worth. They drop passes from Jordan Travis too. That's true. If we can't use the pass dropping for Purdy because don't act like Warren Thompson and these boys weren't dropping Jordan Travis passes as well. So that is definitely true. But that's what good coaches dial the offense to do. More strength and weaknesses for Chuba. But with Travis, they tried to do that, but that's not true. They called the game around what Jordan Travis did strong. With Purdy, when I say they dialed it back, just go watch his lone start. They didn't let him push the ball down the field. To me, it was pretty obvious that his collarbone or something must have still been affecting the way he throws the ball, which means he probably shouldn't have been playing from the beginning. Just my opinion on Purdy. They didn't let him even push the ball down the field. Miami's 5 drops, not on N'Kosi Perry this game. No, I thought N'Kosi Perry played good. I thought the offense looked better with him in the game personally, but that's just me. Knicks, baby. Look like we're going to get a win tonight. Perry looked good, sees the moment, agree. Miami coach is overrated. Who? I don't think he's overrated because I don't think anybody thinks Manny Diaz is any good. So I don't think he's overrated. And I said our receivers suck. That means everyone, JT. Like, yeah, their receivers did suck. That's for sure. But I think Miami's receivers might be a tad bit worse. They had to dial down the offense for Travis. He's not accurate. Travis is a good running QB, but the passer for what Cunningham Norvell want in the offense. Yes, that's true. That is definitely true. Purdy is the future. We will definitely see there. I hope he is, obviously. Can't wait till the new corp of receivers come in. Tired of Miami wide receivers. Miami just lost to the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Wow, we actually going to lose to Clemson. Yep, looks like we lost to Clemson. I'm headed out. Good show. Thanks, Tyler, for tuning in. And Canes for life. You're late. I'm about to head out. Thanks, everybody who showed up tonight. Sniper says, I always wondered why do Miami fans blame their DC, but the head coach has the biggest say in the game plan on defense. I mean, he is the defensive coach, right? I've continuously have said this, Sniper Gang, but I've talked to multiple Miami people who they say Manny Diaz has no input on the defense at all. That Manny Diaz is trying to be a Nick Saban type and just be a CEO and let coaches coach and just do his thing. That Manny Diaz, even though he's a defensive coach, does not put any input on the defense. If that's what they say, I just take their word for it because I don't follow the Hurricanes like that. So it is what it is there. Sorry for being late. It's all good. Great show tonight, G. Appreciate it. What up, Joe? I'm out. I'm about to be out of here, and Manny is trans. All right, guys, on here for over 3 hours. Thanks, everybody who showed up. Again, if you didn't hit the like button on your way in, hit the like button on your way out. We'll be doing another live stream sometime this week, especially depending on what news may or may not break this week. But if nothing else happens, I think I'm going to do something Friday night. And yeah, thanks for everybody who tuned in. It's your boy Polk over here on 863 Seminole TV. And we out here, baby, like always. We out here. Happy holidays. Absolutely, man. Everybody stay safe. And go Noles, baby. Go Noles.